Par Vision. Howdy. So, color spread time. We got the Straw Hats in a ripoff made cafe. Any big thoughts coming out of this color spread? How you feeling?
Yeah, what is Zoro doing?
Drinking.
Yeah, but like the direction, the angle, is he trying to pull? I think the kids are saying pull and huzz or something like that.
No, he's simply drinking, brother.
Yeah,
when
but
you
like,
drink, sometimes you gotta like
lips
turn to the side.
I ain't never seen his lips do that like that. And
you've never seen his lips
Lilith
drink something?
No, but like
they're like, how do you drink liquid Par?
No, but like he's like emphasize. He's like, yo, Lilith, you see what I got going on over here, and like Oda had Lilith like exceptional this time around, right?
Yeah, I like how everybody can agree that Lilith is the best girl out of this color spread. Man, Lilith is amazing.
Well, I liked Robin, but like, yeah, Lilith
Robin's like number 2.
Showing out, I think. Yeah. And then who's number 3?
Nami.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Nami just
4?
I just feel like we've been with Nami for so long. Like she's just there.
I think the kids are calling that Gruz, something like that.
Man, they got a lot of new slang.
Chopped. Yeah,
no, Chopped is ugly. Chopped is ugly.
Yeah, chopped is ugly, and then there's Chuz, Huz, Gruz, like all these.
Yeah, whatever the best one is, that goes to Lilith by far.
Who would you say is number 4?
I mean,
is there a 4?
I mean, it would be Bonnie, right?
Whoa.
Okay, it doesn't mean it like that.
Number 4.
Stupid. So stupid. Oh, who's the 4th one, Sai? Well, I mean, just the 4th girl there. But sure.
Rip, maybe. Yeah, Rip. Maybe the menu she's holding isn't saying Rip Off Cafe. It's saying Rip Sai. Huh?
No, probably not. So Rip though,
yeah,
people are not people like just a small handful of people are saying this could mean that Kuma's gonna die or Bonnie's gonna die, but that's just so extreme. I don't think that's the case. I think that's just fun.
Yeah. What if it meant that Bonnie's gonna die?
I just can't imagine Bonnie dying.
Straight up. Like, because maybe it's just, like Kuma's, like, if this were to mean Kuma, right?
Yeah.
It's not. He's already dead. Not dead. If he left the story, it's not like, well, oh my god, it got foreshadowed in the cover story. No, the guy's like,
he's always been on the verge of death, anyways. Yeah.
Like if I hear something like when Kuma eventually dies, and he's like, oh my god, chapter 1149 foreshadowed in the cover story part. Did you see that in the thing? I'm like,
guys, yeah, come on.
Foreshadow, 3 shadow, 2. I don't know what kind of shadow this is, but like this is So what if this were Bonnie, and then it's like Oda's kind of like, bro, I just made like a second Nika, I regret, and he just like decides to just take her out of the show. Would that be a bad thing or a good thing?
I mean, I think it'd be interesting. I don't know if it'd be like necessarily good or bad, but I do think if Oda really wants to take Bonnie out of the story, there's better ways to do it. Just pull a Bellamy. Just say, hey, Bonnie's living a different life. She's just out there somewhere. He doesn't have to kill Bonnie off.
Yeah.
Like, there's another option. Probably don't have to kill everybody. We could just put them on a different island and have them hang out.
I thought when you said there was another way to do it, I was like, how else would you want him to foreshadow it? Like, you want her to be like in a coffin? Like, how much more photo? And then he was like, oh no, you meant like another way to like write her out of the show, not just straight up kill her.
Yeah.
Like, not have her walk the plank and splat on the underworld.
I mean, you could even
like,
just say that Bonnie stays here on the island with Lilith, and there you go. You've written Bonnie out for like the next 100 chapters, right? I mean, it's simple as that.
Would you rather have the other Vegapunks in the story or Lilith?
Hell no, dude. See, I'm not the biggest fan of the other Vegapunks. I know you loved Shaka. You cosplayed Shaka, but he just never really did it for me. I like Lilith. I like York. I'm a gooner. I'm sorry, guys. And that's it. That's how it is. I didn't care for Edison. I didn't care for Pythagoras. Stella, I didn't mind Stella, but I didn't like his tongue. I didn't like his head shape. Lilith and York were they were the it girls, bro. That's it.
Not that I didn't really like goon for Shaka like you did for Lilith, but to just to clarify, I cosplayed him the day, like literally the day he was released. So like I was hopeful that he'd get more story, and he didn't. But like had I known his situation, I feel like if I didn't cosplay him when I did, and I'd waited the next anime NYC or Comic-Con, whichever, I probably wouldn't have wanted to cosplay him, because the way he just like left the story, I was just like, whatever.
Wait,
and
left
then
the story?
Even less.
He's still here, Par. He's the Megapunk.
That's what I'm
now.
saying. Even less so after he returned back to the story. Like I feel like had I not cosplayed him when I did, I probably never would have. Even though like the memes are there, the goggles, whatever, like the helmet's all sick, but just like. When I did, it was the chapter he got announced essentially, or whatever, introduced. Yeah. And then that the next week or a week later, like I think it was break week, then I went to Comic-Con, showed up thing. Nobody knew who I was except for straight manga fans. And like people were like freaking out, like, how'd you get this? Blah, 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 blah. And at that point, it was sky's the limit with Shaka. And then, then we had like an entire year after he died before we find out he didn't die, that there was a whole nother set of conventions, and that's when people went crazy with the Shaka stuff. And I was like, damn, nice cosplay, blah blah blah, and I was like, damn, you should have showed up as Shaka. And I was like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, remember all the Shaka theories, like, oh, Shaka is dragon, like underneath that mask is a young dragon, a young Roger, it's gonna be Ace. I mean, those theories went crazy, and I didn't mind them either. Like, because we didn't meet Edison or Pythagoras yet, I was like, those theories hold some water. Like, yeah, maybe this is just another Lilith type of situation where there's a human underneath that helmet, or, a humanoid-looking person under that helmet. And then we got Pythagoras and Edison, and it's like, oh, they're just robots. Okay, cool.
Yeah. I mean, Lilith isn't bad. I hope like, not that her character matters, but like I hope has influence here. Like she can have influence. Maybe there's something in the lab or something, but it'll be interesting to see what Oda does with that.
I still like the idea that Lilith joins not cross-guild, Neomads. I still think Neomads is a very solid option, which doesn't make sense right now. But, Neomads, they're making moves, or they're trying to. Maybe they come here to Elbaph and they join Lilith in the lab. I think that'd be really interesting. And it would be something that a lot of people wouldn't really expect either, right? Neomads and Elbaph, like, what the hell? Like, what are they doing here? Not as like an opposing force, but, they're just here hanging out.
There's a decent segue into like the first page or whatever chapter, which is like when we're talking about what Scopper is doing with Smers, and the question is like, how'd you do it? Usopp asks like Scopper, and Scopper goes, I'm rusty, or whatever. Like it'd be interesting, because I think we both are in agreement in the sense that like it'd be very odd if Scopper tells us that it's some power that's inaccessible to most of the Straw Hats / most of the characters, because like we have lines from Chopper, etc., saying like, I gotta study, this is valuable information. And I was just thinking about it, like Lilith could enter in that aspect. Like she ends up figuring out or finds out from Scopper, and she like mass produces whatever that thing is for the army that's fighting the Celestial Dragons / Holy Knights. And I was like, damn, I didn't even really think about that. But like, going off of what Chopper's comment is like, this is vital information. This is going to be really valuable to fight the thing. It's like the person who would need that information if they were to figure out, and the person who would be able to figure out the best would be like a Frankie Lilith type of
depending on what it is,
right?
yeah.
So yeah, and bringing Lilith to this junction, maybe it is something that is recreatable. I mean, and to be fair, Vegapunk has done like Devil Fruit recreation, so like it's not that crazy for him to start, or Lilith, Vegapunk, they to start collaborate. Do you think can she talk? No, she hasn't. Wait, can she talk to the other Vegapunks? I forget.
Not from what we've seen.
Okay, yeah. So her, like, I wonder if she would be able to be valuable in this point, but maybe not. We don't even know where Chopper is gonna go if he ever figures it out. We don't know if Scopper's gonna let him know. I don't know. So guess we got to see. But yeah, this very crazy start to the chapter too.
Yeah.
Let me see what the viz says.
Absolutely insane. So when it comes to that Chopper remedy, right? Since we kind of skipped ahead with that one already. Yeah, I don't think it is advanced Conqueror's Hockey that is needed to hurt the Holy Knights. I feel like it wouldn't make sense if that was the case, simply because Chopper is going after the answer, right? Like, I think it'd be really odd if Chopper chased Scopper all the way through this chapter and the next one, and he's like, hey, Scopper, how did you do it? And then Scopper says, oh, advanced King's Hockey. It's like, okay, well, Chopper coming here was kind of pointless. Like, we don't need him here, because the people who have advanced King's Hockey and would use it in a fight would just use it already. It's not like they have to hear that is the answer to actually start utilizing it. So yeah, it would be really odd if that's the case. So I do think it might be something medicinal. I liked your idea of biofeedback. Like, maybe that's it. I was like, yeah, maybe it is biofeedback that Chopper saw back during Ini's lobby. Because Chopper was fighting Kumadori.
That's true.
And Kumadori had the ability to control all aspects of his body. Anything that lives around him, he can control it. So maybe it's like the opposite of that, which would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I like what your idea of life denial.
Yeah, that's what I call it. I coined that one, guys. Life return is what Par calls it. I call it life denial.
Yeah, that's the duo, the dichotomy of the Parcast. Yeah. No, but that is an interesting point. To consider with Chopper. When you think, like, why would Oda give him that dialogue and that role, right? Like, it feels reminiscent to Drum Island Chopper, who's like actually considering how to fight rather than like disassemble like a bio weapon, like what Queen is doing. He's like actually analyzing the fight, like, oh my god, this weakness, and the viz translated as that must be a crucial secret. So maybe the crucial secret is just advanced Conqueror's Hockey, but that would be weird, like I was saying. So hopefully we find out what Victoria's secret is here. It'd be very, very interesting to know.
Hey, yo, shout outs Victoria, man.
Yeah.
So,
shout out.
Scopper does go in.
Victor.
After he slashes Smers initially, we see that Smers is screaming in pain because that attack just hurts so damn much. He's not trolling. He is not, not feeling the damage. Not feeling the damage. Because we talked about that last week, right? Like, he got his hand cut off and he was kind of just chilling. Gunko, when she was hit by Usopp. I mean, obviously, Usopp's attack didn't stick, but she didn't feel any damage either.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, do these Holy Knights feel damage? And boom, bada bing, bada bam, we got the answer right here.
I would say last chapter, he took damage and you could see it reflect, but then, like, he's not so, like, when his hand was cut off, which, by the way, as some people came to the stream, was like, he regrew his hand. It's like, no, he did not. Absolutely, his hand did not come back in this chapter. There was like a pause, like he was just like I would, and I think I agree to a certain extent, which is that last chapter, the fear, or not the fear, like the reaction we saw from Smers was less so of like pain from his arm and scaredness that Scopper was here, and / there was somebody who was able to cut him that forces him to disallows him, prevents him from regenerating, which, that's like a shocker. If you're normally immortal and then some random dude who you don't expect to be here shows up and then you're not immortal anymore, I would be more afraid of that guy than like, generally just, oh shit, my hand's cut off. No, that guy can kill me, so that's what, like, last chapter, I feel like I agree with you. Like, the hand part wasn't, but this is definitely like, he's reeling in pain right now. For sure.
Yeah. Dude, it's so odd, bro. Going from reading OP scans and TCB to the Viz, like, just seeing how they translate things is so funny. Like, so Scopper, he goes in for a second attack while Smers is on the ground. And in OP scans and TCB, Smers uses a Briar Barrier, which makes sense. But here in the Viz, it's Thornsolation, which isn't bad either, but it's just funny, you know? Like, Thornsolation, huh?
Yeah. The thing is, this is TCB and OP scans might be able to flex their power here, because ultimately, if Smers is a reoccurring character, let's say we leave Elbaph, Smers isn't dead, he shows up 40 chapters from now, Oda's not going to remember the moves, and where is he going to go to? He's going to go to the wiki, and depending on which one the wiki hard references at first, that's the one that Oda might Briar.
I mean, not just that, but even like Crunchyroll or like, you know, whenever Toei releases the anime episode, will he say Briar Barrier or will he say Thornsolation? Yeah. Like that's the one thing with Viz. Like, I treat Viz just like OP scans and TCB. Like it's another reference point, and whoever has the most points in their ring, I go with that translation. Or if Sandman or, you know, somebody else hops in the ring.
Oh, I'm forgetting, actually. This might be one of those things where it's like kanji and katakana. So it might be like the kanji says Briar Barrier or whatever. But the katakana Oda put down, it's like Thornsolation or something. I don't know. I feel like for some moves,
it's supposed to be like a play on words or a pun. Is it supposed to say like insulation, but Thornsolation? But even insulation doesn't make sense, like, right?
Well, he's insulating himself from, he's like making a thorn wall. So he's making a barrier, but he's Thornsolation.
Oh, and I see. I don't know. Yeah. I'd rather have like Thorn Shield or Thorn Barrier. Yeah, even Thorn Barrier I think is better.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, it's just, like, it's not like he's making a house.
Exactly.
It's not like there's a, I don't know, like insulating, like it's not like he's a fridge, right?
Yeah,
like
he's not like trying to,
it's not like Scopper's not that cool, you know what I'm saying? Like,
dude, you know, I gotta say this, the older you get, the more you actually start to appreciate fridges.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I love a good fridge, man. A good fridge will make any man smile, bro.
Apparently I got a really good fridge in this place. One of my friends
came over
and they're like, damn.
Is it touchscreen?
No. Well, it has like a touchscreen, but I don't have like it is technically, it has like, apparently it can, it's like a smart fridge, but like I'm not gonna.
I want one of those, man. I've never had a smart fridge, but whenever I go to like Best Buy or, you know, like Costco and I see those smart fridges, I'm just like, I just like touching them. Like, oh, dude, one day when I get a house or like a really nice apartment that I can furnish myself, like, boom, smart fridge.
Yeah, the fridge came, the builders put that one in, and so my friend came over and like, oh damn, this is a nice fridge. I'm like, wait, what do you mean? It's apparently a fridge that requires a lot or not really any maintenance. Like, you don't have to clear the tray or whatever underneath the, like at the bottom of the fridge, there's like a leak tray, something like that. A lot of fridges need to do that. But yeah, so it's
the newer fridges, they use like a laser to like destroy all the water in that tray, so you never have to like empty it out.
Something like that.
It's just stupid advanced. So back to One Piece for a second. Smers ends up coating his thorns, his barrier with hockey. Scopper can't break him, and that is when Smers gets back on his feet. Armament.
Is that? Do you see the black lightning on those thorns?
Oh, whoa! The black lightning is coming from the black lightning is coming from Scopper's axe, brother.
Oh damn! Yeah. I didn't know you were segregating the hockey like that from my standpoint.
Sorry, I'm a Scopper glazer. I love Scopper.
Scopper, you think Scopper has Conqueror's hockey? How do you not know that it's Smers, Sai? Clearly.
Hey, if Smers had Conqueror's hockey, hey, I'd be eating that up. But there's no evidence. There's not even like an iota to go off of. So I'm not gonna say that.
You know how cracked it would be if he coated his thorns with advanced Conqueror's hockey? That'd be kind of nuts.
That would be super nuts.
Yeah. It'd be like, can Kaido coat his Boro breath with hockey? Like, that'd be sick too.
I mean, I'm assuming he could. I feel like you can coat anything in hockey if you try hard enough.
Yeah, he just wasn't trying hard enough. He wasn't even trying, to be honest. Only was
Kaido. He didn't lock in, brother. I mean, what is he doing?
Yeah, he wasn't locked.
Dude, you know, it'd be so funny
if he locked in. Maybe the raid would.
I really wish that One Piece did this, but you know how like in some animes, not every anime does it, but some animes have like a OVA episode where the characters from the episode sit down, like, you know, breaking the fourth wall, and they're like doing a play-by-play, like, oh, you remember that scene over there? And like, oh yeah, I remember that. Imagine we had that for Kaido. Like, Kaido and the Beast Pirates sit down and rewatch Onigashima, and Kaido's like, damn it, I should have just went hybrid right here. I should have just killed Luffy before he turned Sun God. And that'd be so fun.
Yeah, I think the best part of that would be explaining his reaction to Gear 5. Like, literally, like, the fuck? Like, what is this?
Yeah. Like, it'd be funny if Kaido looks at Gear 5 again and he's like, man, I still don't know what this is. I still don't know what's happening.
That'd be so... That'd actually be...
Dude, that would sell buckets, bro.
Filler.
Like, we don't even have to do Wano right away. East Blue Saga. Like, imagine East Blue Saga, like, Akainu and Garp sit down and watch Luffy fight Captain Kuro. Like, that'd be so stupid. It'd be fun.
Yeah. Garp, Sengoku, Akainu. It'd be like, the Garp would be glazing and just laughing. Sengoku would just be like the analytical one, and Akainu would just be this hard.
Dude, like Akainu was like, dude, we have to kill Axe-Hen Morgans. He didn't stop Luffy. We have to kill Smoker. He didn't stop Luffy. Oh, dude, imagine Roger watching like episode 1, and he's like, oh, yep, this reminds me of me.
That's my dream.
I'm telling you, bro, like, Toei needs to hire me. Like, I need to be on that staff because I could milk the hell out of One Piece, dude.
That's what I'm saying.
Dude, One Piece could get so milked, but they just don't do it.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, Toei has hired people from the community, maybe, but you know, it's on a certain part of the community. So maybe we got some motion in that storyboard room, you know? I mean, instead of AI, they get Parsai.
I don't know. I don't want to be that guy, actually. I don't want to put myself on a pedestal like that.
Give it to AI.
Yeah. How about this? How about you take the job and I tell you all my ideas?
Oh, yeah. Wait, no, isn't it usually reversed? Don't you, what's it called? Outsource it to the... We usually outsource it to the brown complexion.
Oh, yeah, you right. Yeah. So
you should get
hired, and then I take your ideas.
Yeah, except unless they have DEI, I'd get the diversity hire, right? Because you know that you're competing with Asians. You're just
dude, I'm just like one of a million. Dude, I saw what is it? Like a computer science convention here in America, and a sea of Asians and Indians, bro. Like, as far as the eye can see, I saw like maybe like 5 white people, 5 black, and then, dude, there's like no Mexicans there. It was crazy.
They're the diversity.
Yeah, there was like, dude, it was just Asians and Indians. And at some point, I looked at it and I was like, man, this is crazy, bro. Like, what is going on here? Like, I remember I looked at a couple of other Asians because I was scouting the competition. And I was like, man, they look just like me. Like, I bet after the recruiters left, they're like, which one was Sai again? Like, which Asian was he? Asian number 5 or 20 or something? Yeah.
That's why you gotta switch up your name, bro. You gotta get the pronounceable, like, Jack Smith. That's you.
No, but that's too generic, though. Like, if you're a company, do you want to hire Jack Smith?
Not amongst Asians.
I don't know, man. There's a lot of Asians with, like, very basic names.
Oh, Lee's is Korean.
Yeah, Lee's is Korean.
What's the common Chinese?
A common Chinese name?
Damn. Yeah, like the common one. I forget.
Damn, I had a Chinese friend. It was like a foreign exchange student, like a long time ago. Dude, foreign exchange students are
like
wild.
I don't want to be like Chan, you know, but I don't know. Chan's also not like just Chinese, right? It could be other things too.
Oh, yeah, the exchange student. His name was like Wong. Wong.
Yeah, Wong's...
Which Wong sounds like one of those things where it's like, oh, like, what's a Chinese name? Wong? Oh, that's racist. But no, dude, Wong is an actual name, bro.
Something Wong.
Yeah, it's like Wong. Yeah, it's a legitimate name. It's respectable. Man, shout out to Wong. I wonder where he's at today. Do you ever wonder that? Like, you know, you look back at like your old friends, you're like, man, where are they?
Yeah.
Where's Wong at?
Yeah. Where's Wong?
Where's Wong?
Where's Wong?
Yeah, he's like the Where's Waldo version of China. Just Where's Wong?
Where's Wong?
I love that. So, going onwards, Somers says, hey, Mountain Eater, what are you doing here in Elbaph? And yeah, he's kind of shocked, right? I mean, I think I'd be shocked if I just saw a legend like this out of nowhere. Like, I equate this to going to Walmart and seeing, like, Kanye West. Like, Hitler's disciple. What are you doing in the what are you doing in the toothpaste aisle? You know what I mean?
Bro,
Like it's shocking, brother.
You just said Scopper. Seeing Scopper in the wild is like, you could have just made a pokey. You said Kanye West. You could have said this is like finding Mewtwo in the random like Viridian Forest or some shit like that. Like Cerulean City. You're just walking through and then you see Kanye West.
Hey, sorry, Kanye West is on the mind, dude. I was talking about Kanye the other night. He's just a silly dude, man. He's got a lot going on. His life is really taking a turn.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kanye.
Yeah. I mean, Ripley and Kim, maybe they have a lot in common, right?
Maybe. Scopper says, let's not get bogged down with the boring questions. And then that is when they start going blow for blow. And I think that's awesome, dude. I mean, obviously, Smers, he gets overwhelmed, he loses. But just seeing that Smers doesn't instantly lose is what I really enjoy. He's trying to fight back one-handedly. And I liked Smers' showcase. Despite him losing, I think he doesn't look necessarily bad.
Yeah. I do find it funny that like the reaction the Straw Hats have. The TCB made Nami sound a little bit of a Scopper glazer.
Yeah.
But like, because she's in TCB, she says, Luffy and Zoro were totally overwhelmed by him, which I don't really, like it was funny on stream. I was like, bro, this sounds like a Sanji fan on Twitter. Like, this is the Sanji stan perspective on Twitter. You'd hear that, like, you end up reading a chapter and then you're like, is he reading the same manga as me? Like, what's happening? But then Viz went with, he was totally pushing Luffy and Zoro around. Oh, that's also kind of bad.
No, I like pushing around. So pushing around is up here. And then completely overwhelmed is like over here. But did you see OP scans and what they said?
No, I didn't.
They said Luffy and Zoro were completely wiped out.
What?
So TCB and OP scans, man, they made it sound crazy, which obviously we don't know Japanese, so maybe they're more correct than the Viz. But just based off of our recollection of the fight, it didn't seem like they were that insane. Like, insanely pushed back, right?
Yeah.
They were pushed back. But my problem is that we didn't see Luffy and Zoro go all out yet to actually say that they were completely overwhelmed or wiped out. It's like, no, like, the fight was just getting good, and then that's when they stopped. So, like, you could say they were equal. Right. Like, Scopper's equal to Luffy and Zoro. Scopper held his own against two. But to say that they lost is kind of insane, but it'd be like that.
Yeah.
We're hyping up Scopper. So I'm okay.
When I read what the Viz said, I only got to the pushing. So like, he was pushing Luffy and Zoro. That's accurate. He pushed them to a point, and then but then when it got pushing around, I'm like, pushing around is a little excessive. And then this is where TCB would be at with his overwhelm them. Wipeout is dead. Oh my goodness, bro, that's crazy. Like Wipeout would be what Big Mom and Kaido did to Zoro, right? Zoro got wiped out, and like Zoro looked hella cool doing that, but that was a wipeout. He broke all of his bones in his body and needed a timeout, right? That's a wipeout. Versus that was not even close. I don't know what Nami was looking at, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, no, dude. Like, when I think about completely wiped out, I think of like Luffy versus Kaido at the beginning of Wano. Kaido was overwhelming Luffy.
Exactly.
Like that is where you'd use that term. But as far as like Scopper versus Luffy and Zoro, like, I think he did really well. I think Scopper came out looking really good, but to say he overwhelmed is nuts, bro.
Like, I like getting the message across, because like Nami's trying to like say like, this guy is cracked, right? Like, that's all you really need to say. Like, Luffy and Zoro took this guy seriously. Like, that's enough.
Yeah, that's a good. That's respectable.
And
for
then
everybody.
Jinbei Usopp like, what? Took him seriously? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Luffy, like, anybody that makes Luffy and Zoro serious, that's a threat. That's a nationwide threat. Like, that's wild.
I just had an insane idea. Imagine. I think I found a new way to get more people into One Piece. Hear me out.
We just coax the idea that you get hired on the stream, and now you're like,
No. Hear me out. Imagine they re-release all the manga chapters, but they change all the dialogue to be relatable to Gen Z. Huzz, cracked, chop.
Yeah.
Like, dude, we throw in all this tung
this guy was
to her,
pushing
you know?
P, like
brain rot, pushing.
Yeah, no. Dude, we should do that. We should try our best to translate it for the internet and create a completely like a separate thing. That would be so funny. I mean, technically, people do that, but it's like so comedic, right? But like, so then they end up changing the meaning, right? Like where it's like, you know, they boil down like what Zoro's actually saying or what Kaido's actually saying. It goes too far, right? And then you lose the meaning. We're saying like accurately translated, but with the Gen Z younger
Gen Z lingo.
Yeah.
No, and the thing is, it could be like ghost stories. Like the story doesn't even have to be coherent to an extent.
True.
Like maybe they just completely switch up a scene,
like an abridged,
so funny.
Almost. Yeah.
One Piece manga abridged or One Piece abridged. I'm surprised that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah,
but I'm assuming Toei like slaps companies down for it though. To be fair,
that's probably the case.
Yeah, I'm assuming Toei's like, hey, don't do that.
Stop that. Just a light.
Yeah, that's fair.
Hard tap from Toei.
Just slap them.
It's a good little shake, baby shake from Toei.
Yeah, good little shake. So Jinbei, he talked about something that we talked about last week about how Robin is a horrible matchup for Smers, right? Robin could still use her Devil Fruit right now, but Jinbei's like, yeah, don't do that. Like, just hang out for a little bit. It's a terrible matchup.
Uses Thorns of Iron.
I'm glad he brought that out, right? Jinbei showing that he has some form of battle intelligence up there. He's not just a fish, guys.
Why did you? No, because
why is that funny, dude?
I never thought that he has battle IQ. I don't think that's surprising that because he's a fishman that he wouldn't have it. I didn't know that was an assumption. I'm not assuming you had that assumption. I know that you're speaking for the people. So I don't know. Maybe you're speaking for like a certain subset of like Twitter users there. But I thought it was funny that he uses Thorns of Iron. I was like, damn, what the hell? Like, that's like,
Thorns of Iron.
That's an interesting translation for that. Because what did TCB say? TCB goes, his Iron Thorns. Oh, I must have skipped Iron the first reading. I didn't know that the word Iron was there. Huh.
Yeah, I mean, they are Iron Thorns though. Like, imagine if they were just regular thorns. Like, you could just easily get out of them. You could just tear them up.
I mean, kind of. Some like vines are like very durable. You know what I mean? Like,
dude, I'm not losing to Mother Nature, man. What the hell?
I mean, okay, hold on. The entire series is about losing to Mother Nature. Like, Vegapunk's literally like,
yeah, but eventually Luffy's gonna beat Mother Nature
be like up here. You know, we talking about Blackbeard and shit, and like Emu and shit, and then there's like we're saying if last villain's Emu, then Emu's Mother Nature. Mother Nature's up here. Smers is down here, right? Like,
I don't know, man.
Ain't no way you're
like I would hate it if I lost to a tree, for example, in real life.
Green Bull.
No, just like in real life, like an actual tree.
I don't think you win against a tree.
Like imagine you get put in a ring with a giant vine. Okay. Are you walking out of that room?
In a ring, no weapons? You lose to the tree. I'm kind of sorry. If you don't have an axe or a chainsaw, you're not beating a tree. 1v1. How many? One tree versus 100 people. 100 people would
Shut up, dude. No, hear me out. You do not believe in humanity.
I think the 100 people will win.
A billion years ago, humans were punching down trees for fun, dude.
Yeah, because the tree would survive. People treat it like battle bags. That's so funny. You see the Muay Thai, the Kung Fu people training their shins and their thing, and you see the tree is completely fine, and then you see like a brick callus on the guy's hand, like, yes, this tree is my master. The tree has taught me the art of brain damage. Like, you know?
I'm just saying, dude. Like, I just don't like the mindset of like losing to a tree.
I got some sorry news to tell you.
All right, so going on, Smers uses two really cool abilities, Thorn Hunt and Crimson Lotus Hell. I love that he uses two abilities at once, by the way. I think that's just so awesome, dude. Like, I know it's like minor, right? People are like, okay, it's not that cool, Sai. But the thing is that when it comes to Smers, man, like, we're not going to get a lot out of him afterwards or, for this fight. So I'm glad he showed off like multiple named attacks before going down to Scopper. I think that's why I really
this is like my favorite part of Pokemon when they started combining moves. And like honestly, that's what made like have you ever played like Pokemon contests, like where you do like it's for the aesthetic? I like the idea, but in games it never reflected how it was in the show. But like when they started doing like bubble attack and like swift, and there's like bubbles and stars, two lame attacks, but like when they start combining shit like that, like fire blast and like iron tail or something like that, and then you get like a combo move where like Typhlosion is inside the fire blast with an iron tail, so like the Pokemon's like not phased by the fire, but then he gets gobsmacked by that. Like that shit always was dope. But like you're
such a nerd.
Right.
Sorry, no, I gotta take that back part. I love Pokemon.
As says the guy with Gengar and Syvduck in the background.
Pokemon's not bad. It's not bad. I'm not a big fan of like the newer stuff, but I feel like that's most people,
I don't even
right?
know the new Pokemon.
I feel like everybody says that. That's not like a hot take.
I do want to play the games, but
I stopped at like generation 4 or 5.
Yeah, I'd want to play the games, but I've just never justified me walking around with like a DS or something like that. That's what you play it on, right? Like, is this still is it 3DS or DS, like, or is it just Switch? Oh, it's just the Switch now. Yeah.
It's a Switch, yeah. Switch 2 is coming up pretty soon.
Yeah, was it like $1,500 or something like that now?
Yeah, it's pretty expensive, yeah. Switch 2, it's not cheap,
I'm
brother.
I'm gonna stick with my
Switch 2 is not
Switch
cheap.
-1, the first one.
I mean, that's what they said too. People were saying, "Oh, like I can't afford a Switch 2." And then I think the CEO or like somebody who works with their marketing team said, "Oh, that's why the Switch 1 is still here."
Yeah. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, fair enough. You can't exactly argue with that. You got me there. So Crimson Lotus Hell, that is very reminiscent of Impel Down.
Yep.
Impel Down.
Level 1.
Yes. Level 1.
Level 1.
So it does make you wonder a little bit, like, hey, are the rest of the Holy Knights going to have Impel Down leveled attacks, or will they be references to Impel Down? Or maybe Impel Down was modeled after these abilities, which I think would be really cool. Like, imagine Smers live for like, hundreds and hundreds of years, and they're like, hey, like, we love Saint Smers so much, let's dedicate level 1 of Hell to him. I think that would make sense too. I mean, I feel like as a celestial dragon, you want to be that karma and punishment kind of guy, that deity.
Yeah, I mean, also Impel Down could be like
model
their
it
training
after
ground. Like if they're training for a cleansing event, where would the best place be? Like, I don't know if you have the jurisdiction for a holy knight to just go to a random island, just completely nuke it alone. Like, I don't know if like that's sanctioned, but Impel Down is probably fair game. Like, they could just probably walk in and then just start whipping people around. Probably a good place to disappear some people.
Yeah, I'm surprised not more celestial dragons go to Impel Down for fun.
Yeah, maybe they're scared.
Scared of the criminals.
Yeah.
But that's why Magellan is there.
Yeah, I wonder what Magellan has seen, man. You like the way he's posted up with like Doflamingo, and he's just like reading the newspaper. It may like Magellan's seen some shit and seen some like heinous villains, right? He's looking at Doflamingo's like, you're bad, but like you're not like disgusting bad, like that's kind of probably where Magellan's at with Doflamingo, right? So that probably could tell you that Magellan has seen like Magellan's a character that I feel like, especially like when you put someone in a prison context, they know like the really illegal shit, right? Like they know. Like if we were to ask who in the Navy knows about the cleansing events and the Holy Knights and Celestial Dragons and the all that stuff. Yeah,
Jazz.
Magellan is Shiryu also probably really up there, I would imagine. They probably know all about this stuff. So
yeah, a tough part about Shiryu is that he's been locked in a cell for a while, so maybe he doesn't know too much, but yeah.
I mean, Magellan, but that could put Shiryu in the good. He's like undercover, low key. You know what I mean? He's with the inmates, and the inmates are like, "Damn, I heard about Hachinosu. Some ex-Rocks pirates talking about yada yada yada." You know what I mean? And boom, then there you go. Shiryu knows some shit, right?
I mean, yeah. Same for Magellan. Just imagine going around torturing prisoners to get information. Like that'd be kind of sick as Magellan, right? Perfect ability for it. So, Scopper ends up landing an axe symphony on Smers, cutting him in half, splitting him in two.
I'm surprised you skipped this.
And cool attack.
I'm surprised you skipped. Smers is like is a very kind fighter. Do you catch that? Yeah, according to the Viz.
Oh yeah, watch your step. Watch your step, Scopper. There's no safe passage here, brother. And then Scopper just jumps up in the sky, starts hitting back the thorns, and then he just cuts him in half.
That's such a funny.
It does paint Smers in a pretty good light.
I mean, the TCB goes, there isn't even a square inch for you to stand on, which makes way more sense for like a fight situation. Whereas Viz goes, watch your step. There's no safe path. It's like that. Yes, Smers, that's the point of your attack. Like you don't need to warn him. It's kind of funny that he just like gave.
He could just be a memester,
and then after he's listen, I'm in a hurry, and he goes, come on then. Like it's a very interesting dialogue that Viz went with here. But Axe Symphony. I like that.
Axe Symphony, yeah. I mean that is a pretty apt translation too. I initially heard this attack as Heavenly Axe Symphony. Futenraku. And then, of course, there's a whole thing where this relates to musical plays as well.
Heavenly Axe.
So, yeah, some
Symphony,
good stuff.
Because Heavenly relates to Celestial Dragon. So maybe, like, he has a move set entirely devoted to, like kind of how when Luffy's in Gear 5, everything's, like, booming or dawn. Like, there's a set of, like, attacks.
Yeah.
Maybe he has a set of attacks that he uses on the Celestial Dragons, then that has a special technique on it. The crucial secret, as Chopper puts it, according to the Viz. That would be interesting.
I mean, I also like it because it ties into Roger, right? Roger has the divine departure.
True.
Right? So, like maybe, the Roger Pirates are all about heavenly attacks.
Oh,
I think that'd be pretty cool. Whereas the Straw Hats,
No, I was going to say Rayleigh. We've never seen a Rayleigh move, right?
Yeah, we've never seen a Rayleigh named attack. Maybe he's like the opposite and he's like all about hell attacks. But I was going to bring up the Straw Hats because the Straw Hats have a bunch of devilish attacks instead. Like Demonio Floor, Luffy has a bunch of mythical monsters as attacks, like Red Rock, for example. And then just a bunch of animals. Sanji has the Diablo, the Ifrit. Zoro's literally like the king of hell with Enma.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I wonder if that's going to be like the parallel. Like the Roger Pirates all have, quote, heavenly attacks. And the Straw Hats mainly focus on devilish attacks, which could mean something, could mean nothing. But I think it's just fun nonetheless.
We found out all of Roger's crew is all Celestial Dragons. And then Roger's is like set up. That'd be kind of wild.
Yeah. So after Scopper hits him, we cut over to Chopper again. And we see that he runs through Smers' thorns so that he can chase down Scopper to see what the answer is to hurting the Holy Knights. Love to see it. We kind of already talked about that. Then we cut over to Ange and Killingham. And Killingham's a funny guy, man. He looks at Ange and he's like, hey, good job. Well done. You've proven yourself obedient. I'll take care of this other building over here for you. And then he shoots the little Hyper down. And I just love the way he acts with Ange, man. He's so nonchalant.
If we were to translate this to Gen Z, it would just be one good girl. Good girl. Oh, damn. That's crazy. You've proven yourself obedient is wild. What did he say in the thing? Was it obedient? This should be good. I understand you did all you can. That's enough. Versus in the Viz, you have proven yourself obedient. That's all we needed to see. Yo, this is straight Psy. This is Psy agenda right now. All we need to see for what? Like, I know for obviously the hostage situation, but if you were to wear the Psy vision goggles for a second and listen to a few.
This is all we needed to see for Ange to join the Holy Knights. Welcome aboard.
And it's just like that, and then you manipulate what the meaning of Ange crying here is. Like, oh, she's just sad because like she's leaving her home now. It's like when you get married off, the girl always cries because she leaves her family, that kind of a thing.
Or she's just crying because she's
happy tears. She just isn't really so like her social cues are off, so she doesn't know how to make like a happy cry.
Or maybe she's a waterbender.
Oh my god.
And she's crying so that she can use her tears to put out the fire.
Shit. Oh shit, Psy.
Yeah, we're cooking.
And just a waterbender theories unlocked. This is level of distance.
Yeah. It's like DLC content.
DLC. Have you unlocked the Avatar DLC for One Piece?
There's a new collaboration coming out in the theory realm. It's Avatar theories.
Woo! That'd be wild.
So
Ange, the progenitor.
Dude, Remo Sheaf here, good old Killingham, who whips out a bow and arrow. Where'd he get that from? Do you think he's a bow and arrow fighter?
I don't know, but I was just talking up bow and arrows the other day, the other stream, because Gunko, because like she has the arrow thing, and these people were talking about like, oh, is he the what do you call it? The dagger? Oh, is he the dagger? Is he the machete? Is he the arrow? And I was like, yeah, but if she was the arrow, I'd like to see a bow and arrow out of one of these guys. And then Killingham's like, bow and arrow, you say? And it's like honestly, doesn't make sense. My guy is a Kieran, like a low key looks like a dragon. Can you just like just snort fire at it? That'd be kind of sick.
Yeah. Why doesn't he just like shoot lightning or shoot fire out of his mouth? Why do you have to do this? But I guess because he has a gas mask on, he can't shoot fire right now.
So sick.
Maybe that's it. He's like nerfed.
And then just like smog came out. That'd be.
Ooh, or imagine he uses his Kieran abilities and he imagines the building on fire and it just catches on fire.
So sick. Imagine he just like he just daydreams because it's his own dream and he's just like. And then boom, and he just goes like snaps his finger, and then just a fire. That'd be kind of crazy. Why wouldn't he be able to do that though? Like, why wouldn't he be able to do that? He can. Like later on, he probably is gonna do shit like that, right?
I mean, that's like bringing up the Eustass Kid argument, right? Like, why isn't Kid like Magneto, right? Like, I don't know, dude. Ask Oda, not me. I mean, it's like one of those things like. These characters, I mean, not just Killingham and Kid, but like other characters with Devil Fruits, like they could do so much.
You're not putting
but they just
Killingham
don't, and that's
and
fine.
Kid in any boat of the same nature, bro. Kid is on that boat alone. Killingham already has demonstrated the proficiency of his power beyond Kid's even if Oda were to draw Kid's best timeline, it's not close to how proficient Killingham has been. I know they share the same first two letters of the names, right? But like there's no boat that Killingham looks at Kid and be like, you are the worst nightmare for your power. Like that's what Killingham would say to Kid, bro.
I just wish Kid had more in his arsenal than just making Big Machine run into you.
Listen, I hate to be the like
I love Kid. Man, we keep on bringing up Kid. I really wish Kid was that guy. Like that is why I harp on Kid a lot because he's like one of my favorite characters in One Piece. I think I'd put him in my top 10.
And the thing is,
but it's just like, dude, his Devil Fruit is so badly utilized.
Like I'm not even like, yeah, we're bringing him up.
God.
But the thing is, Oda did it with Gunko. Like it was literally, I was like, oh, like Gunko can redirect the lightning, and then not thinking of like how that would look on paper, because when we saw it on paper, it was even funnier than reality because Kid was in the exact same scenario with the power to do that innately, and he couldn't redirect the lightning.
Oh yeah, against Big Mom.
It's the same lightning. Like it's not.
And then Gunko's just like this, and then Nami's Zeus just goes right back at her. Like, I really wish Kid had more abilities. Like, even a bird, right? We saw Gunko create a bird out of arrows, and she flew on it. Dude, Kid could technically do that. Bro, he's never flown before.
Oh my god, he could be Static Shock if he wanted to. Like, that is so crazy.
Yeah.
Like, my guy Static Shock was just like, he has lightning powers, and he used electromagnetism on a trash can to fly. Kid is out here,
dude.
He's the trash can. Like, that's.
You know, be really sick too. I mean, Kid, he kind of has already done this, but not to the extent I'm going to recommend. But, like, what if he's able to control people like puppets because they have metal on their bodies? Or, like, they have, a belt buckle, a sword? Because whenever a kid, like, does his magnetism, right? Everybody's like, oh, my sword, and then it flies away. But no, like, what if you actually use all the metal, like, in their spalding, in their belt, their shoes, their arms, and then they're, like, your little magnetized puppets. Like, dude... Oh, Kid could like take over the entire country, man. Like Doflamingo.
You have to be. You're on that Avatar bending.
Oh no, I'm not. Wait, who does that in Avatar? Oh yeah, Kuvira. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Kuvira,
oh yeah, I love Kuvira.
That, you know, so this is really funny.
Yeah, that's because so sick, man. Kid could do that, man. Kid could literally do that. Bender. There's nothing stopping him. That's not like an awakening ability. Kid can do it.
Yeah, and it's also hilarious because Kid had to awaken in order to like attract and detract. It'd be hilarious if Kid's attract power made the person like fall in love. Like just to pivot his power. Just give him something else at this point.
Yeah, if One Piece was a rom-com, he would just attract
like
love.
Oda could easily, with the amount of use that Kid has gone out of his power, Oda could literally say like, oh, Kid has just been using his power wrong. It's not really the like magnetism, like electromagnetism. It's like the power of attraction, like manifestation, like the, you know, like the get rich quick gurus, you know what I mean? Oh, you just gotta speak good into your world. Like that's the type of shit that Kid has, which is why he's so like deliriously delusional. So that would be hilarious if Oda just
what's funny
it's like his power to attract is like now Big Mom's like in love with Kid forever. That'd be crazy.
I was gonna say what's funny is that, you know, while people may say that the Kid talk is just unwarranted, we gotta bring it up every week. Kid was last seen off the island. I don't know, man. If Kid were still alive today, the most logical place for him to show up next would be Elbaph, just because that is the island he is literally closest to. Like, could you see Kid showing up here and fighting Emu?
I was like, fighting Emu? We're just making shit up now. And then I realized, no, Kid is here and still Emu showed up before he came.
No, dude, hear me out. What? Imagine this. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit, but imagine Gunko Emu. Yeah, Muko is what I've been calling them.
Wait, Muko?
Imagine Muko is standing over. They're standing over Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, Loki, all the Strats, all the Giants of Elbaph are on their knees because Emu has shown them the true dominion of God. And then the one person who can defy Emu is him. Sun God Jika.
Son.
You hear it. Clank, 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 clank. That's Kid in his metal parts walking up to Emu, and he's hitting the dance of death. He's sidestepping. He's hustling. He's walking that crip walk. And then that is when
so crazy.
He takes on Muko. And Muko, Emu's like, oh no, is this him? And then Emu just instantly severs the connection to avoid the fight with Kid. Like, imagine that, bro. Wouldn't that be so hype?
There's some sauce here, but you're, like, boiling the sauce right now, which is... I just thought it was funny because you said... The way you said Sun God Jika was kind of like how back in the day, like, you'd say, like, white N-word, so he's like, wigga. Like, you would just be saying random things in front. That's what it sounded like you doing with that. But, you know, it's funny because... I was before you went in the thing, I was like, damn, find yourself YouTubers that are this locked in on Elbaph. Do you remember all the characters present? How many YouTubers are bringing up Kid, Eustass Kid in chapter 1149? Not anybody. It's just us. And then I was thinking about it because Elbaph touts like they have the there's been an emphasis on the Dendenmushis and telepathy, and like was it Mars? I think it was Mars who was like saying like I don't sense the telepathic waves. And ironic because he's using telepathy and trying to sense like the Dendenmushi waves. And we have an instance where this stuff was disrupted, which was Dressrosa. When Doflamingo used Birdcage, which people are like, oh, it's like a Faraday cage. And I referenced this because in my observation hockey video, that video being the one that talked about how like Wi-Fi hockey, the thing that Shanks did, like I talked about that possibly being a possibility like 2 years before it came out. And at the end of that video, I was saying that like it would be very interesting if Oda uses this like bird cage technique in the future. When Doflamingo did Birdcage, that you couldn't communicate in and out. The Dendenmushi signals were cut off. And that's a very interesting thing because Mars kind of conflated their telepathy and the Dendenmushi telepathy. And it makes you wonder, if Doflamingo were on Egghead and he used Birdcage, would that have stopped what Vegapunk was doing, like the broadcast? And I'm extending that because theoretically, and I emphasize theoretically, I'm not talking about like One Piece theory, I'm talking about physics. Theoretically, Kid with his power would be able to disrupt telepathy. And so if Emu is telepathically locking in on Gunkko, Kid could technically sever it with his power. If he dropped a Faraday cage like Doflamingo had, if Kid did a sign on Gunkko, he could repel like the telepathic waves that Mars actually like canonically brought up. Kid would be a really good option for that. Lilith would be like her coming up a contraption that can do that. That'd be really cool too. But if we're talking about use cases, as silly as what Sai was saying, that might not be that wild of idea. Emu comes out, shows the Dominion of God. Everyone's like tapped out. Kid shows up and he doesn't beat Emu or Muko. Instead, he diffuses the situation, which his power is literally able to diffuse electromagnetic signals, which apparently this could be. So just throwing that out there, that's not as crazy. Sai's on something. I know you guys only know him as the greatest Kid defender of the One Piece community, frequently crashing out, creating like days long threads on Twitter. But this time the sanity is coming through. There's some juice to this one. I like it. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I believe in Kid, man. He's going to come back any day now, and he's going to look absurd. Just like Par's suggesting. Par's over here talking about Kid taking down Emu, disrupting the waves, sending Emu's ass back to Marijois. And I think at one point you even said that possibly, he's the sun god too.
Yeah, he's I'm down with that kind of N-word. Like he's the Jika. Oh my god, that's crazy.
Yeah. Woo. If he does, I mean, okay, jokes aside, if Kid really does come back and he shows out here, that would be such positive PR for him. That is positive PR. But I think he's allergic
to that.
After that Shanks show.
As a character, his superpower is being allergic to positive PR.
No. Just watch, man. I mean, you gotta imagine, you gotta remember that. Oh, actually, there's something we have to talk about too. But I'll bring it up later. But I was about to say, like, even Luffy lost, bro. Like, that was his Sabaody moment. After Sabaody, Luffy came back 10 times, 100 times stronger. Maybe Kid's the same way. He just needed to be
4
humble
extra times
once.
And lose his arm.
No,
and
once,
then
once,
his
once.
ship.
No.
And then his crew.
That never happened.
And then his crew needed to beg for his life.
Hey, it's respectable. I love that the crew really
and then
cared
thrown
for Kid.
into prison. Where his second hand got
doesn't get thrown into prison every now
in
and
front of
then?
him, and he still couldn't save him.
Yeah, and he's still a character we all love. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, we all, emphasis on we and all.
We all love him. Not a single person out there hates Kid. So we go on a little bit more. We see that the library's burning. Robin and Saul are pretty sad. I still don't think the library is really in trouble just because the fire just started, right? The owl is still in there. We don't know what it's doing. I feel like the owl is going to come in clutch. We talked about that last week, and now we cut over to Jarl and Ronya.
So strong, bro.
Jarl is crying.
We the type of dudes to hold out on Recycle Cur and this goddamn Biblio.
I believe in the owl, man.
We just like animals, I guess.
I was going to say, Ronya is apologizing for being alive. Everybody's like, no, Ronya, don't be stupid. It's not your fault, obviously, you dummy. And we see it. Scopper arrives to where Gunkko is holding the kids hostage. And he says, culture, history, children, troops. You don't have the right to take any of those things away from Elbaph.
Just real quick, you're reading the Viz translations, right?
Yeah.
I thought when you said, it's not your fault, Ronya, you dummy. I thought that was in the translation. I was like, no way. You said it so casually. I was like, oh, he's just reading the Viz translation. That's wild that they did that to Ronya. Maybe Stephen Paul hates Ronya too.
Yeah. Even the One Piece translator doesn't like her.
Sorry.
Not funny. A lot of people do. So what's hilarious is that Gunkko knows about Scopper. She's like, a crewmate of the Pirate King. So I wonder, like, do they teach the Holy Knights like history like that? Like, hey, this is a crazy crew, or do you think Gunkko was like maybe around when the Roger Pirates are going rampant? Because Gunkko, I mean, she was in a Brooke flashback, and Brooke is old as hell. So there is a very good chance that Gunkko was just around and maybe even fought these guys before, which would be kind of interesting.
And we do know that she has no qualms with being fans of the opposition. So, like, Soul King Brooke is very openly not a Holy Knight ally or world government ally, as per his Crash Out concert ending tour, and where he's like running away from the Marines. I'm a criminal pirate. You can't stop me. And she still listened to him. So maybe she was a Roger fan. Who knows? Or someone on the Roger crew.
Yeah, could be the case. Honestly, it's kind of funny, but like if I was a pirate captain or like, a leader of the Marines or whatever, I would sit my crew down every day and just have them study up on pirate history. Like, hey, this is Scopper. He had these attacks. If we ever run into Scopper one day, we gotta use this to fight him. Like, knowledge is power, man. I'm glad Emu's teaching.
So I would be making YouTube videos on other pirates. Watch my videos. Give me views.
Oh, dude. Imagine there's like a YouTube tutorial on how to take down Scopper Gaban. The Holy Knight's like, whoa, hold up. Let me just watch this on YouTube real quick.
We should do how-tos in One Piece World. How to defeat Kaido. That's a good series. Yeah,
but it'll always kind of boil down to like the original things, like, drown Kaido in water.
True.
Stab Kaido 1,000 times.
That's fair.
Just silly things like that.
True. It's so, leave it to Oda to do the how-tos. He's showing us the how-to. No need to make a video on it.
Yeah. I don't need to make a video. Like, how do you kill Whitebeard? I mean, I guess you just shoot him like 1,000 times, right? And he'll just die.
Sai was right. Someone made their YouTube name that. Sai's right. They comment on anything. Sai is right.
I like that.
It's going to be one of those accounts that just comments on all my videos saying Sai is right, waiting for me to ban them. But their username is Sai is right. Oh, God.
There's somebody in there on YouTube. Their username is the Par Blind Spot.
Yeah. That's a good one. I like that name.
I was like, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a fire name.
They might be a mod. I forget.
You guys heard it here first. Make fun of Par with your YouTube username and you'll get modded in his
careful
chat.
though, because I did say I would ban. If your first comment in my stream is Psy is right with no context, I'm banning you. So,
but I'm always right though, Par. Come on, don't do me like this.
Oh God.
So while Scopper is rushing towards Gunkko, he is just hoping, he is praying that Colin does not give it away.
Yeah.
He's really hoping that Colin will not say that they're related, because Gunkko obviously would use him as the hostage. And can you believe it?
Believe.
One panel afterwards, Colin does it. Colin spills the beans, not once, not twice, but 3 times before he even cut back to Gunkko. Yeah. That's my dad. Dad, hey, Dad. My dad's gonna beat everybody here. Like, oh, no, Colin, shut up. Please. Please. Oh, it's crazy.
It's also funny because, like, all the other kids already know. They're the ones who told him. So he's, like, extra special for that because, like, the other kids were like, hey, it's Mr. Ya. Mr. Ya is here. Look, Colin. Like, they're the ones who told him. They know who he is. And it's probably also one of those things where it's like, Scopper is low-key, like, damn, I'm trying to think of it. He's like the Superman of Elbaph. So I'm sure all the parents are like, hey, like, if you're in trouble, just like shout out Mr. Ya, and he'll come save you. Like, that's what Scopper kind of is. Even in this moment, because the giant pirates were crashed like a branch away, and the kids are all like in danger. Like, we gotta go save them, and then like, go Scopper, go save the kids, and then like Ripley and everyone's like, he's got this. There's no one stronger than us, or no one stronger than him. He's surely, and then they're like taking their sweet time because that's how much they believe in Scopper, and I imagine Ya Rule and everybody's like that. So it's pretty funny considering like this dialogue, like Colin is just doing extra on top of it because he didn't even realize it was everyone else who realized first. So, you know.
Yeah. Man, Mr. Ya's such a funny name.
It sounds... It's not really, like... it doesn't sound dangerous enough. You know? Yeah.
Mr. Ya?
Like, you know, even Clark Kent has more, like... sounds like sharp, you know what I mean? Superman, say Batman, somebody call Robin. It sounds like that sounds like a little bit higher than Mr. Ya, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Mr. Ya just makes me think about Soldier Boy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He has a song called The Report Card. And he's like, yeah, trick, yeah. That should be Scopper Gaban's
I was
theme
wondering,
song.
I was like, what reference is this? Like, did I miss like a Soldier Boy chapter? Like, what happened?
Yeah. You missed the Soldier Boy era, man.
Yeah.
I love
Did you know
Soulja
the
Boy.
dance? You one of those kids?
I could never do. I don't dance.
I gotcha.
Yeah, I'm one of those kids that never learned how to dance.
Well, you're not Filipino.
They're like too embarrassed to dance.
Sense.
That's me. Is that like a racial stereotype?
Filipinos can dance and sing. It's like genetic. Yeah.
Really? I've never seen a Filipino.
I mean, you don't
dance
have
before.
too many out there in Oklahoma, I'm sure.
Oh no, actually, part of my family, like a branch of them, are all Filipino.
Well, sorry, size.
Yeah.
That, you know. Sorry.
What does that even mean?
Wait, which one is good at the at Valorant? Is that side?
No, he's just straight like Southeast Asian.
Not saying Filipinos good at Valorant. I was just wondering which side was.
Yeah, Par just.
I want to know if there was some Korean in there.
Just ignore the old man.
You had a.
There goes Grandpa again on his racial tirade.
Korean level of game proficiency, okay, and you know it.
Yeah, now because my cousin is Asian and they're good at Valorant, okay. Par's like, oh, he's
not just good at Valorant. My guy could
Par's
be cosplaying as Tens, bro. Like that shit was crazy.
So we go on, and right after Gunko realizes that Colin is Scopper's son, she rushes off to him like immediately. And Scopper pulls out a pretty fun technique where it looks like he's propelling himself forward the same way Sasuke does back in Wano.
Or like
he's just like twirling his axes and he's just like
Luffy UFO.
Yeah, like a Luffy UFO. Like Scopper's doing that with his axes.
Yeah,
it's pretty
would you
sick.
do that?
And it makes sense, you know. I feel like that's anime logic, right? It'll make you faster. Would I do it? No.
Sad.
I just feel like I'd get dizzy after a while.
Scopper, if you were to name this move for Scopper, what would you call it? Axe Copper?
No, like Heavenly Whirlwind or something.
Oh shit!
Heavenly Twister.
Toei, hire this guy. Oh my!
Shut up. Shut up. So we go on a little bit more, and we see that Gunko is about to execute Colin. He says, "Hey, you don't mind if I kill him, do you?" And that is when Scopper's like, "Hey, give me 1 second, son. I'll solve all of this." And that is when we get the flashback of Colin's birth. And I think I speak for most people, but the minute we saw this flashback, we knew that Scopper was cooked. Like that's it. There's no way he'd risk his son dying. And he does drop a line here that I think is kind of interesting. He calls Colin his a lifelong treasure. That is the one consistent in all translations. And the reason I think that's interesting is because it reminds me of the treasure of Hachinosu. And we still don't know what that is. I mean, obviously, people think it's a devil fruit. There were like six in boxes back at God Valley. But what if it is a kid? What if it's like Rox's son? And that is the treasure of Hachinosu. Just like how Colin is Scopper's treasure. Like, imagine how crazy that would be. Like, oh, Scopper has a secret treasure that nobody knows about. Oh, he has a treasure. And then you find out that, oh, his treasure is his son. Like, what if Rox was the same way? It sounds like
you're unintentionally corroborating a very strong theory. My friend, I heard one of my friends made a theory, possibly talking about a character coming from God Valley that could be related to Rox.
Par has a really prominent theory. He's made at least 5 videos about it. And it's the fact that Rox D. Zebek is a fraud. And his son is none other than Buggy.
No, my friend made that theory, but I made a theory that opened the door of possibility for my friend to talk about that idea. And it's not when you said it the way you said it, we're talking about like, where was Shanks in that? He was in a treasure chest. He was a treasure. And wait, didn't Roger have another kid the same age? Where did he come from? You're telling me Rox, possibly the jewel of Hachinosu, could have been his kid? Oh, I wonder what treasure Roger got from Hachinosu. I mean, God Valley. 2 kids. Wonder where the other one came from. That's crazy. Didn't come from me. That came from you. I'm just saying. I didn't even.
Yeah, Par heard that theory from a friend that exists only in his bathroom, and for some reason only pops up when he looks at a mirror.
When you sing in the shower, you sound amazing. That's like my friend. That's the.
Dude, I love singing to myself, but I only do it like when I'm in the car by myself because I'll turn up the radio super loud so I can't hear my own voice. I just go at it.
Damn, you gotta drop the mixtape, brother. What the heck?
No, I can't sing, bro. My
so only your wife knows
shot.
Your real voice. That's crazy. I don't even know it. That's wild.
Shut up. No.
Wait, no, hold on. Hold on.
Yeah, I like the idea that Buggy is Rox's son. And, like the anime episode for God Valley released today. And, Roger, I didn't realize he had this line. Let me see if it was in... Do you remember what chapter God Valley was in?
1096.
Wow, you had that off the top of your head. 1096, really? Yeah, so when Roger shows up to God Valley... He says that he's been aching for this for a whole year now. And I never really paid too much attention to that. Like, why would Roger be wait? Yeah, it says right here, it's been a whole year. do you have any idea how I felt all this time? Like, why does he say that?
Swooning over Rox's wife's pregnancy. Like, he was waiting.
Yeah, no, it makes me wonder, like, so Roger and Rox, they have some sort of a relationship, right? Because we see it in the chapter, right, where they're both fighting at God Valley, and he says, wait, Rox, and he's like, oh, get out of my way, Roger. Like, they sound very familiar with each other. So it does make me wonder, like, what if they both knew the mom? Or, like, what if they both knew the girl? And, yeah, that's why Roger and Rox both came to this island for the kid. I feel like something like that could be the case. I know it's like a crackpot theory right now, but I do genuinely like Par's theory that Buggy is Rox's son. I don't think that's bad at all.
Yeah, that year line kind of, I think, flew by me too, because that's a interesting connotation, because that would tell you a little bit about, because like it's been a whole year, makes you know that this is not relevant to Celeste, the cleansing event, which happens every 3 years. So it's irrelevant to that, because you would think that Roger is keen on stealing the treasure that usually gets like given to the winner of a cleansing event. It's like, oh damn, they only give, I'm just gonna make something up, like immortality drug, like they give it out to the winner of the cleansing event. That's how they get the perennial youth, whatever thing. And so, like, if he said, I've been waiting whole 3 years for this, because that's, you know, that could make sense. But instead he goes a whole year. And I think that the more, if you want to play with that context, then it might make sense to think that like Roger and Rox are here for the same thing, which that's another interesting thing to talk about, because Ginny is the one who leaked this to the world, and presumably is why Roger and Rox ended up showing up, is because Ginny leaked it. And we don't know necessarily all of the details of what she leaked, but it's kind of implied that she's like talking about these devil fruits, which ironically Kaido ends up with one of them. And that kind of tells you that that's what the Rox pirates were after, which is probably why, you know, when contextually, when reading the chapter, you know, One Piece of the series, we miss a lot of things always. And that's why, you know, videos and theories and discussions are super important. You catch things like this. I'm sure other people have, you know, tapped into that whole year line. But that whole year line doesn't make sense for the devil fruits. And so it's kind of interesting, because the Rox pirates, if they're here for a kid, for example, their lines don't really line up for that to really make sense. Because like for example, like Whitebeard's line, I just know that fool Rox will lose sight of the goal. Like if he's talking about Rox's kid, that's like we want. And then we have to be certain first. It's like, damn, we have the Mori show. Like, what's happening, right? But then you also have to ask yourself, like, what is Roger after? Because his line doesn't make sense for a devil fruit in the year. It doesn't make sense for a cleansing event. So like, what is he talking about? We don't really know. And the weird part is like that egg, right? Like that egg is like something that a lot of people always, you know, go back on. And I don't know if we necessarily have a thing that shows us if the egg is here or not. I don't know if maybe the anime filled that in. Like,
no.
Do we know? Yeah.
No egg.
So, no egg. So, you know, there's a lot of question marks, but that is a really crazy line. The jewel being Buggy. Listen, all I'm saying is that I wouldn't.
That's a theory I've been pushing for a while now, man.
Yeah. Damn. How come you've always been antagonistic towards the greater vision, huh?
I always love that theory. I'm the one who created it. I'm the one who told you about it.
Oh yeah. Guys, you forget that like I'm actually like Sai is like Vegapunk, like Stella, right? And I'm just like the third. I'm like the Edison. And so like my channel is actually just a brainchild. Yeah. So
you know,
so when
it's become a gag here on this channel and on your channel too, where I just gaslight you. Yeah. Because I'm like, oh, I did that part. What are you talking about? Like, or you did this part. What do you mean? You had that opinion. Yeah, you had that stance, and then I just switch it all up. But how would you guys feel? How would you feel, Par, if I was actually just having an episode of early onset dementia, and deep down I truly believe that I came up with this, and all of you guys are saying I'm gaslighting Par, but deep down I'm just a nutcase.
That it would also no, but like I would.
It's like a Grey's Anatomy plot twist with Denny Duquette.
Yeah, that's a good
I have a
reference.
brain tumor, guys.
Well, that part got a little crazy. I hope you don't have a brain tumor that's causing the dementia. You just have the regular dementia. But like,
Would you
I don't
rather have
hope
a
you
brain
have.
tumor or dementia.
Well, the brain tumor could cause also like the dementia-like symptoms. But I'll just going back. I also hope you don't have dementia. That came out really terrible.
Oh, that's like the nicest thing you've ever said to me, Par. What the hell? Damn, is it because it's my birthday? Jeez.
Nah, strategically though, like it would be incredible. Like think about this, guys. You guys, I know you guys like hold Psy to like this incredible genius standard. And I honestly think
No, they
based off
don't.
of-
Nobody here thinks I'm a genius, which is my selling point.
but based off of your guys' perspective of Psy being like this mega brain genius, it would be so 9,000 IQ to make a theory channel and have like a brown guy be the face of it and then make some crackhead theories that sound ridiculous just to offset the hate off of yourself, and then you make some like middle ground theories so that like, oh, like that guy's crazy, but this theory is a little bit better. Rock's fraud, wild, but Rock's kid buggy, huh? That's something to think about, right, guys? And then it's like, yeah, no,
That's how you get them.
that's how you get.
Yeah, it's because like imagine putting two theories in the ring. One of them is Croco Mom, and then the other is Buggy is Rox's son.
Bro.
It's like, okay, you're gonna think Buggy is Rox's son is a more plausible theory just because the other one of Croco Mom is just so stupid.
We went like, I feel like we went a year without mentioning Croco Mom, bro. Why did you do that? Why did you?
I'm sorry, man.
Dying
Sorry, brother. Like the thing is that because Croco Mom is such a bad theory, it makes the obvious theory that Crocodile is a woman look absurd too. There's like AoE splash damage going on there.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, like, no, people are like, oh, Crocodile's not a woman. It's like, wait a minute, guys. The chapters kind of foreshadow it. Ivankov has some dirty secret over Crocodile. We know what Ivankov is known for. Like, it's kind of right there, but
at this point, just stop making
because of Croco Mom,
theories.
it just makes it look bad.
No more crocodile theory. Like that's one of those theories.
It's like Starbucks.
Wait, what? Like Starbucks?
So Starbucks, in my opinion. So have you seen the new Starbucks protest?
No. Like Starbucks is protesting?
No, like Starbucks union workers are protesting. Not all of them, but I think they said like 90 stores are protesting this. But Starbucks is enforcing a new dress code change in June or end of May. And the workers are protesting the dress code. And the way I relate this to Croco Mom is that because I think unions are great, by the way. Unions, overall, they do solid work. But they also get really negative PR because of dumb protests like this one, where they're protesting Starbucks' dress code. And they're saying that the dress code is unfair and that it's egregious. But get this part, the dress code is a black t-shirt and pants.
Oh, I usually wear a black t-shirt. I'm just like looking at sides, like, and I was hoping I was wearing a black t-shirt. I got pants on. I win. I'm winning.
Yeah,
I can get hired.
like my shirt would work for Starbucks, and it's just crazy. It's like, guys, like, what are we protesting here? Like, what are we doing?
I feel
You're
like
protesting a black shirt and pants? Are you kidding me?
The Starbucks union's about to come take down our video. Sai, you put us in the crosshair of the union. Oh
the Starbucks union workers are gonna get us.
We're gonna get called scabs, bro, and this is crazy. Oh no.
Yeah, I don't mind. Like I said, unions do good work, but the minute you bring up stuff like that, you look a little bit silly. It's like Croco Mom. Crocodile being a woman, not a bad theory. Croco Mom, ooh, that harms the narrative, brother. That's just bad.
Hurts all the theorists out there. It's one of those, with great power comes great responsibility. And I say that because there's a bunch of theories that theorists, like YouTubers, have like contemplated and like, how would this would do damage to the community? Let's hold back. And I've had that situation. Some people have commented, Par, do you think that you've done more harm than good with this Rox is a fraud theory? And I'm just like, man, I didn't mean for any of this.
Yeah, dude. The minute the Rox chapter dropped where he beat Kid Kaido, everybody was talking about Par. Like, remember that Par Vision YouTuber who talked about Rox being a fraud? Remember when they said Rox was super weak?
Yeah.
Oh, where is he now, huh? He hasn't uploaded in a year.
I knew you could say that. I was gonna bring it up myself and like, there's a reason why he hasn't uploaded a video in a year. Yo, that's so funny. Oh god.
That's how it be, man.
Yeah. You know, it's before we went on, I'm pleasantly happy. Oh, oops. I'm pleasantly like, I did not think about the lifelong treasure line connecting to God Valley. I'm glad you connected.
That's why we're
those
friends,
dots.
man. That's why we have these conversations.
Because I was actually looking at the other line, and if you remember, you were talking about like how your wife only knows your real voice, and I was like, what if your wife called you like Mr. your last name? Like, isn't it
No,
Mr.?
you're right. Why is Ripley calling Scopper Mr. Ya? They're like together. They're partners.
Yasan. Like, yeah, it's kind of interesting. I mean, that's what he goes by, I guess, on Elbaph, but like, it just feels weird because like everybody knows him as Yasan, so it's like doesn't sound normal.
It's
But,
not.
like,
Yeah, it's not natural. And then obviously on the other translations they just say Scopper, which is perfect. It makes a lot more sense here.
yeah,
Like,
well,
kids calling Scopper Mr. Ya, sure.
TCB says
Ripley
he's
calling
our
him
child.
Mr. Ya, I don't know.
He's our child Yasan, which like it just feel in, especially when the Viz goes Mr. Ya, like that sounds very odd.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe just Ya, like Ya, or like something cute like Ya, you know, like a nickname. And like Ripley calling him Mr. Ya is kind of funny. Ooh.
Or like
God.
Scoop.
It makes it sound like he was her teacher in school. Like when she was going to school, that was her English teacher, you know?
Hey, some people like that.
Yeah, some people do. Some people do.
Some people do. So, we cut back over to Gunko, Scopper, and Colin. And this is when the future sight activates. Scopper's like, yo, like, I can't get to her in time. He sees a future where Colin gets stabbed in the neck. And what's crazy about this, too, is that Scopper, he believes that he can solve all of this. Like, if he takes down Gunko here, he says there's still time to put out the fire in the library. I can save the children and Elbaph in the process. So Scopper, dude, if Gunko never held Colin hostage, Scopper might have just cleaned everything up, which is an absurd thing to think about. Like, imagine a future where Colin never said that Scopper is his dad. Scopper goes in, he one-shot, two-shots Gunko, goes to Killingham, beats Killingham, and then puts out the fire. Like, that would be an absurd timeline. That feels like a Dragon Ball Sparking Zero What If chapter. Like, I'd almost love to see that.
It's funny because the comment said, I responded to the comment, but the person was like, I don't know if they said Par inside, but like they were just like, you know, like like when you think about it, it didn't matter if Colin said his name because then Gunko would just take any of the kids, and then it's not like Scopper would just watch a kid die. And then my response was like, imagine Scopper just going like, I don't care about this doof, and just lets him die. and then the commenter was just like, yeah, fuck those other kids. And it's like, maybe Scopper would just, like,
it kind of makes you wonder, like, if Gunko was holding Ronya hostage, and in this exact same position, would Scopper still go in? I wonder.
I mean, technically, we kind like, because they had Ronya hostage about to jump off, and yeah, the circumstance was like burn down the thing and then we'll put him off. She was at risk. She was held at almost like gunpoint at the edge of a thing, and Scopper still ran. Like, he didn't give a single hoot about Ronya in her predicament. He took out Smers, did the other thing. Ronya was just let free because of Killingham. But if you really thought about it, Scopper's action should have made Ronya get pushed off because he was retaliating, right? So technically we kind of do have an example.
I mean, I think that's fair. Like, this is gonna sound kind of morbid, sacrificing one kid for all of Elbaph. Like, you save all the kids and you save the library and you defeat the God Knights. Like, maybe he was willing to risk that, but of course when it's his son, he can't do it, which I think is understandable, right? In Scopper's mind, I wish it'd be kind of hard, but imagine he had a line saying, I'll apologize to the family later. Of whoever Gunko kills. Like, I'll apologize later, I just have to get this done. And then You
What in
got
the
Colin here, and then he's like,
Kagurabachi?
okay, whoa.
What in the Kagurabachi is this, bro?
What in the Kagurabachi's funny? No,
Yo,
but that's how it is, right? Like, hey, like one life for all of Elbaph and all the kids. Like that's it's a tough price, but it's a price that I think you'd have to pay.
Yeah. I mean, not to get like super morbid, but like, like if Scopper, the Superman of Elbaph, like is apologizing because he couldn't save the kid, like what could you really say or do? You know what I mean? Like that's what's tough about like the Superman role is like, as a normal civilian, it's like you were powerless in the thing, right? And he was weighing the fate of the entire like demographic, like the world and my child, and it was like too much. And like he saved other kids. There was 10 kids, he missed one, and it's not like in a realistic situation, right? Like we have in a military sense, like some people end up dying and passing away. It's not like we put the people in prison per se for like, the survivors, right? Like, you know what I mean? So it's kind of, when you really think about it, Scopper, I think about it that Colin mattered to like in the situation.
Oh, yeah.
The other kids wouldn't. Not that they wouldn't move Scopper, but I feel like the story would have been a little different, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, you put any father here, right? Like, if Ronya's father was here, and he was in Scopper's position, he'd feel the same way. Like, oh, Colin's gonna die. Sure, fine. We'll just have him die, and then I'll save Elbaph, and I'll save my daughter. Like, that's just kind of how it is, I remember watching the Overlord movie, the Sacred Castle one, or Sacred Country or something. A Sacred Kingdom, that's what it is. Came out this year, I watched it, and it had a scene very similar to that, where, like, their kids died, and then the dad's like, why didn't you save them? You were there. And it's like, well, you're the dad. Why didn't you save them? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
That's your job.
Yeah. That's
like, I'll save my people, you save your people.
I want that now. It makes me want to watch that because, like, yeah, that's a unfortunate, like, real, thing, which is, again, my thing with a lot of the context here, especially regarding the kids, like, my gripe for, Colin's silly for saying, okay, daddy, like, I'm not, hard on Colin, whatever, but like Oda was making Colin out to be different than the other kids. And like part of that is being naive when it comes to what it means to be a warrior and that stuff. And I understand putting Colin in the sense of like a chapter 1 Luffy, but like these other kids are supposed to be beneath Colin's mentality of like the expectation that, the awareness that Scopper wants to Colin to have, right? There would be zero expectation out of the other kids, right? They would blurt out whatever, but Colin a little bit separate. And I would like that for like a lot of the Hasa situation, for like this serious critical lens of the value of the warrior and the mentality, and teaching that side, not just tossing it aside, not just like demonizing it, kind of the way the kids were doing when they saw Colin. They were like, ew, you're a warrior, ew, that violence is lame and whatever. It's like, yeah, but when push comes to shove, you're gonna need that. And obviously I'm not saying that Oda's not going to give that to us, is not giving us here, but like in this situation, it's like a lot of those things, that's where I'd be more critical of, is that warrior thematic and instilling in why it would matter. And so, yeah, like that line that you're saying from Overlord, that would be pretty dope to have here. It would be, kind of interesting to see the parents' reactions, because Yaru's in kind of a interesting predicament as well, but his is a lot more separated than where Scopper's.
And it kind of makes you wonder, right? Ronya, Jarl's great granddaughter, was the one giving the speech a couple chapters back. If you put Scaldi up there, if Scaldi gave that exact same speech, would Jarl have caved? Maybe. But you got to admit, like, there's that extra oomph because that's his blood, Same with, Colin and Scopper here.
Wait, you're getting Mandela, I think.
Oh, I'm getting it mixed up. Oh God.
Yeah, the video.
Never mind. His great granddaughter's Yilva.
Yeah.
Oh, I did
Ronya
myself.
ain't
It's
shit,
because
bro. Just
Ronya ain't
repeat
nothing,
after me.
mind.
Ronya ain't shit.
Ronya ain't shit. Okay, yeah. No, it's because of the spoiler error too.
Yeah,
where they switched up Ronya and Yilva. Yeah. It's like I read a bad translation for a little bit. I'm like, whoa, what happened? I'm telling you, man, dementia. It's here. Brain tumors here.
No.
So the minute Scopper surrenders, we see Gunko shoot 3 arrows at him right away. He gets pierced triple times. He falls down, and that is when Chopper also chases after him. Chopper jumps off the branch after Scopper, and that's good, right? Because we now know that Scopper is 100% going to live. Not just because of the arrows. I feel like if it was just the arrows, he'd be fine. But the fall is what we're really worried about. But Chopper does have a guard point, which has notoriously broken a lot of falls in the past. So, yeah, he's in good hands.
I never gave Chopper that kind of notoriety. That's dope. Notoriously,
yeah, dude.
Fall breaker. 0 fall damage when Chopper's around.
That's a hard ass epithet too. Imagine the fall breaker.
Yo, that's kind of sick.
Yeah, without the context, that'd be kind of cool. Like, imagine Kaido Fallbreaker has arrived.
Yeah, or Luffy falling off Onigashima. Chopper showing that'd be kind of cracked. Not gonna lie.
Yeah,
it fit the reindeer motif too, because he's supposed to be able to run on air mythologically. Imagine Chopper awakens into mythological Santa's slave reindeer.
Honestly, like that's not bad because he is in Walk Point right now, which is his reindeer mode. So what if we see Chopper just pick up Scopper and fly in the air like Skywalk or something?
Yeah. Oh my God, Chopper learning Skywalk would be kind of sick.
Yeah, Chopper skywalking right now like an actual reindeer and saving Scopper. Like they don't have to fall to the underworld; they just save him right here. He stays in the Sun Realm.
Oda would have to make a Rudolph Funko Pop now. Like,
Chopper Skywalker.
Yeah. Oh, dude, Toei hire.
Did we just do it? Did we just unlock the Star Wars DLC?
Yo, Chopper Skywalker.
Oh my God,
is crazy. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's not bad. And then Scopper's gonna say, "Chopper, I'm your father."
Yeah.
Scopper
and Chopper. Oh my God.
Chopper, man. Like that's it's always been in front of our eyes, brother.
Dude, this theory is so cracked. Why did their names rhyme? Well, Oda clearly wanted them to be related.
Have you seen, somebody reminded me of this theory the other day in the comments section, but have you seen the Dr. Kureha is Scopper's mom theories? No, okay, that sounds silly. I know, but hear me out, dude. If Scopper is like related, this would be kind of a nice reunion, right?
I was outside touching
like a nice callback.
I didn't get to this level of theorizing. I need to stop touching. That's honestly what it is. I got a yard, and all of a sudden I stopped making theories. You know what I'm saying? Like,
nah, dude. Like I saw it on Reddit because I was doing a Reddit recap on YouTube.
Oh, shit.
And then every like once a week, once every 2 weeks, I do like a Reddit recap for members. Which it's just like the
for
one
OnlyFans?
Exclusive content I do. For OnlyFans. So that's up there and on Patreon. But remember there's like a Dr. Kureha is Scopper's mom theory. And then somebody in the comment section of the last video said it too. They're like, oh, like if they are related, this would be a nice little callback. Like maybe they bond over Kureha.
See, okay. I'm going to hit you with something crazy.
And we know that Scopper went to the East Blue and saw, not East Blue, but like the Grand Line, and he saw Crocus. Who else did he meet? And why does Dr. Kureha know about the D? Maybe Kureha's son told her about it.
And what's interesting too is not interesting too. I'm memeing right now, but Scopper Chopper, like maybe, and we see a recent trope that Oda loves to do, and Scopper fits the role of Chopper's twin brother, the older brother that his parents actually liked more, because Scopper chops down trees, and that's what reindeers chop. That's his name, Chopper. Scopper's literally epithet comes from Chopper's. I'm getting the name. They're twins, bro. It might be that Scopper is actually a reindeer, and his older brother. That's why Chopper got bullied so much.
You know what? this sounds like a par vision theory,
Certified. Where's my frying
certified par vision theory? I love it.
Dude,
not fully. I don't believe it, but I love it. I love the enthusiasm.
I need to start making Reddit posts just so you get it in the Reddit recap. The buy.
Shut up. Yeah, like it's not super consistent. I keep on saying, "Hey guys, every Friday," and then next Friday rolls around, I don't do it. But
you're gonna get a flux.
I try my best.
You're gonna get an influx of Patreon support. Where's the Reddit recap?
Nah, and I also do like the spoiler reactions there too, because I talk about spoilers on my spoiler channel, but
yeah. The spoiler
like,
spill.
The first read through, I do it on Patreon, which
do you call it the spoiler?
It's not like anything super
spillover?
special, but nah. Yeah, so I like to imagine people who are just there just like to support, and that's super wholesome.
Yeah,
it's nice. It's nice.
Shout out to the supporters.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Yeah, I never thought I'd be there, but yeah, I would love to see if Scopper and Chopper have like that little moment. I don't know where it would go. Like, I don't even know how they'd bring it up. like would Scopper just look at Chopper and say, "Hey, I've heard stories about you"? I mean, you gotta remember, like, Chopper has not seen Scopper yet, right? Like, you know, people are saying, "Oh, Oda, he dodged the Sanji and Scopper interaction, but he also dodged the Chopper and Scopper interaction."
Yeah, I love that you hit the ultimate theory nuke, which is, sure, 1,000 theories, but the ultimate theory nuke is why? Like, you come up with theory and the biggest, in 90%, it's like, I can't really justify the why. Like, why would Oda do this? Or why does this matter? Why would Scopper be Chopper's twin brother or Dr. Kreha's long lost child? Why? You know what I mean? But, and it'd also be kind of funny.
It's just a nice callback.
Dr. Kreha, like, she never, not that it didn't, like, Dr. Kreha is the type of lady that Oda like would have created. It's like, yeah, she made it to that like, because she's not a mom. She never was a mom. You know what I mean? Like, that's the type of shit Oda would say. I feel like, you see Big Mom, you see where she's at. Yeah, that's not where Dr. Kreha is. So it'd be interesting. That might be the same justification why Shocky ends up appearing the same way too. Huh.
You know, in Dr. Kreha's introduction, she was throwing axes. Was that perhaps foreshadowing?
We actually, I feel like I've seen,
and they like also wear the same glasses. Odd.
Actually, back when like active on my Discord, I actually feel like I remember somebody bringing up like the axe connection to Scopper, and I mean, once upon a time, Scopper was a mythical creature in One Piece. So it was like a cure-all, man marked by flame. Scopper, like, you know, any theory that had an open end large enough, Scopper was a guy. Who's the guy waiting at left? Scopper? You know, like, you just put that guy anywhere. And the Dr. Kreha one was an interesting one because I don't even know why Scopper came up in the like, we weren't talking about like what is Scopper Dr. Kreha related to per se. But I think I remember maybe the person made a Reddit post. That'd be interesting if it was the same thing. Because yeah, now I'm recalling that the axe. When you said the axe, I had like flashbacks. Now looking back at it, like Sentamaru's axes have like roses on it or something too, or something like that.
Yeah,
I remember seeing a lot of axes back in the day. Drake.
Dr. Kreha axes. Yeah, she throws some at Sanji, I believe. Sanji and Luffy when they're trying to run away from her hospital.
Interesting.
And you do know who the dad might be. It's another popular theory.
Okay. Captain
Axe Hand Morgan.
Okay, see, this is where you lose me. Just because okay.
What's wrong with that? Hello?
The spine of the theory is all these people use axes, so they must have fucked. Like what the fuck? Like that, they like axes. It's not the axe fucking like the
what?
Like,
so now the theory's bad all of a sudden? Hello?
This is like what's his face? Van Auger sees Yasop at a bar and it's like, damn, he's sharp shooting. You want to shoot back shots, brother? Like that's not how this shit. You see a guy using axes, like, you're trying to chop me up, baby. Like, what's happening, bro? That's so
I'm just
funny.
saying, man.
This theory.
Have you ever seen those TikToks where it's a guy in a hotel room and he's like, every time I just gotta check, you can never be too safe. And then he gets like a piece of raw shrimp and he rubs it on the lamp, and then he takes that same shrimp and he like puts it on top of the door handle.
No, I can't say I've.
That's his entire TikTok account. Where like another one, he's like, like you never know, and then he takes like a tape dispenser and then he puts it on top of the bathroom sink, and then. He waits an hour and then he comes back and he gets a piece of tape and he puts it on like the wall, and that's it.
What are you watching?
I know, it's like brain rot. The whole
so
meme is that it
concerned.
makes no sense, but he acts like it does. Like, oh, like you can never be too careful, and then he like does something really stupid and then he does not elaborate.
I'm not gonna lie. That's a bannable offense, and what I mean by that is if I had a child. And like, hey, dad, look at this TikTok, and they proceed to show me what they watched that day, I might ban that. You lost. Like that's that's a bannable offense, bro. I'm worried.
Have you heard of my guy Quan Mills?
No, maybe,
dude. Quan Mills is a really great book author. Like he has like a couple of really good bangers on TikTok, like my baby mama got impregnated by the flying chicklin monster. The old thought next door. This hoe got roaches in her apartment. Pastors eat pussy too. My baby mama's a loser.
Like, was this a sequel? Like, or a 200?
Oh, dude.
T-O-O.
Quan Mills, man. What he posts, brother. The books that man can write. Guys, look up Quan Mills, man. That guy. Whew,
you know,
he's something.
I never thought about this, but like you and I combined, we are giving random people the craziest ad slot, bro.
No,
like
dude, he already has like 300K followers. Like, here's his latest book. Here's his latest book. Pregnant by a crash out YN alien. And another one, pregnant by an alpha werewolf hitta.
Sorry, what does
like
YN
this guy's cooking.
What does YN mean, Sai?
I don't know. You tell me. This one says a snow bunny succubus got me pregnant, and it's a guy with a baby in his stomach. It's so funny, man. Dude, Quan Mills, you know what a snow bunny goofy is, guy. Right? Yes, Par.
Oh, okay.
I know all these terms, brother. I wasn't born yesterday.
No, I mean, Snow Bunny's a sleeper one. I feel like if you're not like,
it's not a sleeper one.
Yeah, there's some people that probably don't. Like, if you said bro, you read a bunch of crazy titles out of context, right? If you went to normal people,
this is a good one.
If you went to normal people, they might think you're actually talking about a snow bunny impregnating.
Here. Quan Mills is his other book, Pregnant by a DL Demonic Cyborg from Hell.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like
shout out Quan Mills, dude. Look him up on TikTok.
What are you saying? Sorry.
I said look him up on TikTok.
I'm good, right? I don't even have TikTok on my phone anymore.
Damn.
Or I haven't had it for the last 3 years or something like that. 2 years? 2 years. Yeah. I'm safe.
It's so funny, dude.
And it's nothing to do with the US. No, that made me want to get TikTok again. But my reason is separate. TikTok just doesn't like creators, so that's why. TikTok's annoying.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
So Colin starts screaming for his dad because he just fell off the branch. And this right here triggers an old memory in Gunko's mind. Or we see somebody shouting, "Father! Father!" We don't know who is screaming that either. That could be Gunko. That could be like a sister, a mom, grandma. We don't really know. People are automatically assuming that's Gunko, but I feel like it might be too soon.
We know it's a
I don't know.
bunny,
how do you feel about that first one?
I feel like that first one is Gunko, and the second one is the kid is not Gunko. But it's weird because they could both be, but I feel like the visual that like the kid one is like someone's perspective seeing Brooke and the kid. But like, you know, at minimum, I'm just at the spot where I don't. Let me double check the translation here. Actually, Brooke. Yeah, are you Brooke? Brooke, are you? Yeah, that's not. I'm sorry, guy. Like Gunko is not Brooke's kid. Not been on that boat. Never been on that boat. That boat can sail like that Titanic because that's where I think it's gonna end up. The bottom of the ocean, stuck with Davy Jones. Apologies. And hey, listen, I could be wrong, but it just does not feel like any sort of setup for Gunko to be Brooke's child. And
yeah,
the Viz,
kind of wild.
Yeah, the Viz kind of allows, not allows. I was reading the thing. The Viz kind of has me tripling down on that. So, but yeah, I think the first one's probably Gunko. I don't know about the second one, and I don't really know how to contextualize the second one. Like, I think the safest way is like, you know, it's like a Kyros, not saying like the whole marriage part, but like Kyros and princess kind of thing. Like Brooke was like a decorated soldier of the thing, and Gunko was like some princess in his kingdom. And she had some crazy interaction that apparently would be like the wet dream of Stelly. Like Stelly's wet dream is what probably Gunko went through of some sort. But we don't know because the difference is here is that Gunko is recalling a memory that she doesn't remember, but she calls this a memory. So it's like a flashback that she's experiencing it as if it's a memory, which almost makes it sound like she has like false memories in place. You know what I mean? Like I'm again, this is looking a little bit deeper than what's on paper, but if like she goes, what is this memory? And she goes back, and I would almost imagine the next line would be like, this wasn't my childhood. I was always a holy knight. I was like raised by Garling, right? Like it almost seems like she has another childhood that she remembers, but then she's seeing herself in this memory. She's like, wait, what is this? This doesn't make any sense. I was not here. So like I'm curious to know the context. Like I want to know what her next line is, because all we see is the reaction, and then she gets taken over. So Oda didn't give her the breathing room to divulge anything about the memory other than she knows Brooke's name, which is kind of funny because she would know his name current timeline. It's not like that's a secret. His name's Soul King Brooke, right? Like it's kind of there. So it is what it is. But yeah, I'm curious like once the Moo part drops, maybe Gunko reels back and we find out more about that flashback, but we'll see. We'll find out.
But also, the whole thing with like Gunko knowing that his name is Brooke because of Soul King, I feel like that could be negated if Gunko was like asleep at the wheel the entire time. Like if this Gunko just reawoken and she has none of the Holy Knight memories anymore, maybe like she only knows about the old Brooke and not Soul King Brooke. Like the two personalities and memories of Gunko are like compartmentalized. Like this one knows nothing about Soul King.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's true. I like that version.
Yeah, it's like a brain tumor.
Sure.
Sorry, dude. It's Grey's Anatomy. Leave me alone. I just got to the plane crash.
Yeah, everybody.
Why'd they do that, man?
Oh, you got to the anything with wheels, brother. Anything with wheels.
It's like The Walking Dead. Spoiler alert. I mean, it's everybody knows this, but like it's when Rick died in the show. It's like why'd you kill these characters off, man? Why'd you do that, bro?
Yeah. They need to swap out casts. Yeah, things get stale. It's a rom-com, but like not rom-com, rom-dram.
Yeah, so you kill the best characters in this show. Yeah,
you just gotta swap them out. You know,
can't believe it, man.
Yeah. But as I was saying, Grey's Anatomy. It's Grey's Anatomy validates that one French horror movie about Tyre 100%. Anything with wheels in Grey's Anatomy, you are fearful for characters' lives, bro. It is so
any
funny.
sort of traveling is just dangerous. Which, I mean, I guess is true, to be fair, right?
Yeah. I ain't never going to Seattle. I ain't never being transported. If I'm ever on the West Coast and they're like, you're being helicoptered to a hospital in Seattle, I'm like, no, don't bring me
anything but Seattle,
I'll
please.
Walk. Let me walk there.
Yeah, let me go.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Dude. Yeah. That if I was a character in Grey's Anatomy, I'd be like, no wheels. No. I'd be like Psychosis. I've seen it happen. Oh God. For 20 seasons.
20 seasons of the pain and suffering, please.
At the hands of the wheel. Jesus, take the wheel, not this wheel.
Yeah, like this new version or old version of Gunko, I just wonder how they erased their memories, man. How'd they do that?
I mean, it seems like that's where the theories will be revived. Like Sugar had a similar composition where she actually had a wilder version because she made it so that the toys that she transformed made it so that the other people forgot about the person who got transformed into a toy, which is way more expansive as a power than just affecting the individual, which I made a theory about how that could be related to like the mind rope thing, where it's like the memories of somebody connects you to them, and Sugar's power like severs those like mind ropes. And the reason why I like that idea is because Oda actually depicted something very similar with Pudding, where she would literally, it's called filament, but like it was literally rope. She'd hit like someone in their like third eye location, like a tree or a rock or whatever, and then give them memories, and they would like be reminded of the memories. Some of the, I think like there was a time she did it and it was like fake, but like some of them were like real memories or something, like of the soul that was existing. I forget exactly the full context, but I had a video talked about it. And point is that it wouldn't be crazy if Emu had, or someone had, a power that relates to this, especially considering how expansive the Holy Knight's powers have already been. You literally, like, if Doflamingo were a Holy Knight, you'd almost expect him to have some insane, like his powers, like strings. Yeah, but as a Holy Knight, he's in the string theory realm, the quantum physics. Like, that's how far, like, his power would go if he were...
Kind of like Kid being Magneto.
Yeah, if Kid was a Holy Knight, he would be Magneto. That's essentially what it is, right? Like,
yeah,
Gunko has the arrow thing, and now she's literally a physics diagram. Like, when you open up your physics, Newton's laws, she is that. Every picture with force vectors, that's Gunko right now, right? And you wouldn't really expect it from just the arrow, fruit, but then, Oda added on, like, or through Loki, it's like, oh, so she's able to control, like, the direction of fate and whatever, like, some crazy shit like that, right? So,
ooh, or maybe, like, Gunko puts an arrow above your head that spins backwards, and they're like, oh, they're erasing your memories.
Yo,
they're sending you backwards in time.
That's actually, I mean, and also, like, all things considered, like, we do have Pudding in existence, right? So, anything memory related puts Pudding on the top of the brain. So it's pretty apt, I would say, that like Blackbeard has Pudding, and like, where was Pudding's power before Pudding? Maybe Gunko got affected back then. Maybe the previous user of Pudding's power did this to the Holy Knights. Who knows? Or maybe they have someone who is able to do what Pudding does in a different way. So it's there. The question is who and where. And considering Emu's at the helm right now of Gunko's ship, Emu's the perfect character. Just, hey, who did it? Emu probably did it, right? So makes you curious. The parallel to Sugar is there for sure.
Or we could just go like the more logical route. Maybe Gunko was just brutally tortured day in, day out to where she just lost all of her memories.
That, I mean, there obviously there's lines for that, you know, forget that. And I was actually thinking about it because it would also be interesting if it was a power kind of thing, because like Brooke saying like she looks familiar. No, it couldn't be like if it was like a sugar type of situation, then all the people associated with Gunko would also forget, meaning Brooke. And so if like actually this would be like Kagurabachi, where like the seal breaks and then the memories start leaking out a little bit. Like maybe that's what's happening with Brooke and Gunko right now. The seal is starting to break on whatever's sealing her memories. So, but yeah, torture would probably be the simplest way, but that's where my perspective, it makes me a little bit biased. This flashback does change a little bit because we don't necessarily know what Gunko's starting point is, but based off of Gunko's current placement, I just I feel like the Holy Knights / Celestial Dragon / Gorosei have all been very specific on their discrimination, that like it doesn't matter if they're married, it doesn't matter if they literally half child is Celestial Dragon, there is hard discrimination. Bonnie even was considered an insect, and we know for a fact that Bonnie's dad is a Celestial Dragon, and probably a high ranking one too at that. So that part is theory, but 100% a Celestial Dragon, and Saturn still considered her an insect, straight up called her an insect. So like that's where I'm like, I don't know if they would ever have treated Gunko, and that part's theoretical. I can see the other route too, where, you know, she started off as a princess and was beaten that way, right? Like, I don't know. It'll be interesting to find out. Gunko, I think Gunko's story is, I think we talked about this. Gunko's like backstory is quickly and slowly but quickly becoming very, very high on my list of like mysteries in One Piece. Like, you know, I'm really excited to find out what Oda's cooking with Gunko. You know, and you could say like, you know, people like the theories of like Gunko Brook relations, like that stuff, like that exists, but this is still so interesting. The line that Oda can create from this, like there's so many possibilities, and I'm locked in. I like it. I like what we're getting here.
We're getting some fire stuff. Do you think Gunko, since we know that she is like a regular person underneath the Emu vessel thing going on, do you think she'll become the next Nakama? We always have to ask that, right? Every time there's a new character introduced that is good, are they going to become a Nakama? We did that for Loki, Yamato, like literally everybody, even Kinemon, Momo, like Bonnie. What do you think about Gunko? Gunko for Nakama? Are you there or no?
No, but Gunko has a weird potential. I will say that. I would say of like other examples, a lot of characters were positioned more straightforward, right? Like Yamato, for example, like that one, it's not that crazy to imagine Yamato having the potential to join the crew, right? Despite me not wanting or believing that she would, by the end of that arc, join the crew. It'd be crazy to say it's like, yeah, Yamato for Nakama makes no sense. That's a wild statement, I feel like, right? And I would say with Gunko, she starts off in the probably the worst position on that thing, on that spectrum. But if we were to play out this memory thing and the proximity to Brooke thing, and we were played to the maximum level of complete brain wipe and high tier relationship with Brooke, then we have like a very crazy situation. I would argue not even just for Gunko joining as Nakama, but Brooke, because like Brooke is, yes, he wants to see Luffy as Pirate King. That is something, but his goal is to reunite with Laboon. His goal is to like technically reunite with family. You know what I mean? Like, and that is a doorway out of the crew. You know, and but obviously that's not going to happen. He has an entire song how he wants to make Luffy the Pirate King and see that through the you know, fruition. But I am saying that changes the dynamic, I feel like, of so much, kind of in a similar way. Like when I say a high tier relationship of Brooke and Gunko, it's the same light of Scopper and Colin, right? Like, yes, Scopper cares about kids, but the high tier relationship that Colin has makes it so that Scopper would literally sacrifice all of his wife, the island, everybody for his kid in this moment. Depending on that relationship with Gunkko, you could have Brooke being stifled in, hey, like Zoro's willing to throw his life away for Luffy, but what if Gunkko was on the line? We know that Brook would throw his life down for Luffy, but what if Gunko's life was on the line, right? That's what I'm saying is very interesting on how Oda goes about this.
Ooh.
Because we have love being thrown out by Smers. We have nightmares Killingham. We have, Gunko being like in this middle ground where she's inflicting the pain, but depending on where Brook's at, where does he end up, right? And it's
no,
weird.
Dude,
it's weird.
that's a good thing that I never thought about too. Like last chapter, 2 chapters ago, Gunko said, "Hey, become my slave, come back with me to Marijois." What if we do lose here? What if we lose? What if Gunko gets her mind taken over, but Brook has some confirmation that this is the girl from his past? Would he actually go at that point? Because he's like, oh, like I swore an oath to Luffy, but what if he does remember and he's like, wait a minute, I also swore an oath to her a long time ago. Would he go with Gunko? I think he would. And then this could be like the perfect, double agent opportunity for Brook too.
Right. And that is like, that's what I'm saying is like, this is so interesting. Like obviously in reaction on stream, this was already an amazing chapter, but when you really dive deep into this like Gunko Brook angle that Oda put in, sky's the limit. Because when I said like Brook has a door out of the Straw Hats, I mean like the Sanji Whole Cake Island type of situation where it's like Sanji doesn't like his family, but because of the circumstances, he leaves the Straw Hats. And it's something that like Luffy and everyone understands Sanji, but it's like that puts everybody in a pickle. And you wouldn't expect that pickle to be on Brook because he's a skeleton. He doesn't have a pickle. But, depending on the relationship that he has with Gunko, that might put him in a crazy pickle. Because like, yes, I don't think that Gunko is his daughter, but like, when me and you are both on the boat that the Brook line, like, Brook, are you Brook? That kind of absolves it from being like father, daughter, like personal, like Scopper Colin type of thing. But I brought up like a lot of people think that Shanks is a father figure for Luffy, and Luffy calls him Shanks. He doesn't call him dad. He doesn't call him anything like that. So what if that's the relationship? Like like Brook is Gunko's Shanks. I'm not saying like on the same level, but like in the same position. That's just one example. Like you could, maybe there were lovers, maybe they were like, related. Maybe Brook married Gunko's older sister and she was like his niece nephew and they were really, really close. Like there's so many ways you could spin it that would put Brook in a position where betraying the Straw Hats isn't outside of the realm
he made
of
a promise to Gunko's mom to like keep her safe.
Exactly.
Like, like your daughter's priority is my priority. So because of that, he has to say, hey, Luffy, I know I just mentioned honor a minute ago about not betraying you, but I have to leave for like a week. And it's like you said earlier, like the Straw Hats understand that. Like if Brook said, hey, I got to save this girl, I have to go. Guess what? None of the Straw Hats would stop him. They think like this is shocking, but nobody would be like, hey, Brook, don't do it. Right. Like they would trust Brook and they would let him go. And I think that would be really cool if by the end of this, Emu takes over Gunko again. Gunko still has, her memories get wiped again, but she does like Soul King Brook. She likes the music, so she's like, hey, again, would you want to come with me to the Holy Land and be my slave? And Brook says, yes, I'll go. Just so that he can stay close to Gunko and just so he could save her.
Yeah. And especially, I think like this specific panel that I'm staring at, like where Brook is at with Gunko relationship wise, this is a scary thing to see someone you care about being possessed by some demon monster
and not just that, but being still alive after all these years.
Yeah, there's like levels like beyond tiramisu right now that's like of layers of trauma, fear, and it could also be that Brook, another angle we could talk about is that Brook might try to intervene. He's Soul King Brook. Well, who's to say that Brook doesn't release his soul to try to see what's happening to Gunko inside, and then like sees Emu and has like a primordial like astral plane battle with Emu, like that, like a film red type of thing, with top music. It's Brook versus Moo. You know what I mean? Like you know, it would be sick. It would be sick if Moo sick. Music Brook fights Moo. No, I'm joking. I was gonna say
that's kind of crazy.
Emu's middle name was Sick Music. Funny enough, that I made a club like that in high school. It was like a music sharing Facebook group, and I named it Mew, like the symbol. And I said this club was sick, and everyone's like, "We gotta stop letting Par name things."
We got no, not even that. We gotta stop inviting Par.
No, I made the group, and everyone joined. Like I had a few groups, you know what I mean? We had an anime group, and then we had a music group, and then we had a homework sharing group. So
what a nerd.
Yeah, it was a nerd.
That's embarrassing, dude.
Hey, I didn't know you would roast me that hard on the intro. Just like, you're just a nerd. That really that really like cut to my core, bro.
This is, I'm not gonna lie, man. This is a little bit embarrassing, brother.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I only hang out with Par because I have to.
Yeah, kind of like how a few years ago you used to have a fake voice.
I don't know what you're talking about. That's never been the case.
I was telling my wife how you were like not willing to divulge that, and she's like, of everything that you've told me about this guy, that's where he draws the line. And I was like, I know, I have no idea what happened.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, me either. Honestly, this might be Sai, you might have unlocked the ultimate form of dementia. Contagious dementia.
Yeah, contagious dementia. My brain tumor is so strong, you're being infected as we speak.
Oh no.
It's do like the know worms that in RFK Jr.
Dementia and brain tumors, they're not like they're not like brothers and sisters. Like, they don't have to be included with each other.
I see them like brother and sister. It's like Shamrock and Shanks, you know?
Twin brothers born.
You can't have one without the other.
Yeah. Which one's Shanks?
I don't know. Shanks would be like the brain tumor, like the slightly stronger one, yeah. And then Shamrock is the dementia.
Yeah, because Shamrock's as a concept, period. Shanks has a twin brother. That one made people sound schizo. You know what I mean?
And then the Holy Knights would be like aneurysms.
Okay.
Dude, speaking of aneurysms and Shanks and Shamrock, so during the God Valley episode today, you know, like Garling is blonde, right?
Okay.
And that was like kind of a small shocker.
Yeah.
Another character ended up being blonde as well.
Who?
You know who?
Who?
The female Holy Knight that's alongside Garling.
Damn, they got some.
Oh, so I think I said Shamrock earlier, but yeah, Garling. Yeah, Garling's blonde, and the girl is blonde too, which is funny because in the manga, she was kind of like depicted with darker shading, so people thought she had black hair.
Yeah.
But now she has blonde hair, and people are like, yo, like, is that Garling's sister? Like, is that another for Garland right there? Which I think is kind of interesting. Now, at first, like, that didn't make any sense because we saw her with black hair, but now it's like, whoa, wait a minute.
That's Kobe's mom.
This girl?
Yep.
Yeah. She's going to be an important character. I feel like all the Holy Knights we saw there will be important, but
yeah.
We'll see.
I do have a theory that says that Kobe is related to Shanks, so a lot of people. That one is probably bar none the weirdest theory I think I have on my channel. It's a short, but that was a theory that I thought that would have so much backlash. But the comments are so positive.
But
like,
people love it, man.
Yeah. That one gave me a lot of dissonance. I was like, I really don't know what people like at that point. Because I thought people would be like, who is this yapper, professional yapper saying Kobe is related to Shanks? But so many people are just like, and my favorite like sarcastically is the comment that says like, oh yeah, this thing like is a great detail. And it's a detail I say at the end of the short. It's a 1 minute short. they're like, oh my god, yeah, and this, like, you forgot to mention this thing, and it's like, no, that's just at the last 10 minutes. I don't know if your retention is that shot, but like, not it was said in the video, and you just acted like you said that in the comments. But that is like a lot of the comments regurgitating the last 10 seconds of my short. And they're like, damn,
that happens all the time.
This is a like, really good theory. I'm like, yeah.
Sometimes I'll post like my long chapter reviews, which I don't expect people to watch the entire thing. I mean, that's totally fair, right?
Yeah.
I put out like a 30-40 minute video. Nobody's going to watch like all 40 minutes, like at least not the majority. But sometimes I'll talk about a theory in between, or I'll make an observation. And then I go to the comment section and they're like, Sai, did you see this? And it's like, brother, I talk about that for like 5 minutes. What do you mean? And it's like, that's fine. I mean, I get it, but it's just funny when that happens, because it's like, brother, I talk about this near the end.
The sleep watcher, the person who falls asleep watching your videos, and so then when the last part is when they dozed off, so then they wake up and they're like, oh my god, I wonder if Sai heard about this. Lo and behold, it was just you speaking sweet nothings to them.
Yeah, it was when I talked about the Oda, well, quote, Oda comment about theories, and then they're like, Sai, did you see this? And I'm like, brother, I talk about that 10 minutes into the video. What do you mean? And then it's funny because people replied to it. They're like, brother, did you watch the video even? I was like, okay, thank you. I feel like it's not rude to say, but I feel like because I'm like the video creator guy, I'm the guy behind the camera, I can't say that. Yeah, because I'm generally kind of nice. I'm really like respectful in a lot of instances. So I don't want to say that, but deep down, that's what I'm imagining. It's like, dude, did you not watch, brother? What are you doing?
Yeah, and then if you comment just like no words, just a timestamp, it's also bad.
Yeah. So I always hope that somebody else says it for me.
Yeah, you just have to respond, okay, wow, incredible. That's it.
Yikes. Yeah, exactly.
Never thought of that one. Timestamp.
New information to me.
Oh, no. Oh, I know. Oh my god. No. What you should say is like, dude, I like you're so right. I edited the video. Here's the timestamp. I edited the video and I added your point. That's what you should do to add to the distance.
Oh my god. I actually didn't know that. I added it post posting.
Yeah, posting. Not post-production, posting.
Yeah, posting. That sounds cooler.
Yeah. Post-po.
Yeah, so you say no to the... Well, you didn't really give an answer to the Gunko for Nakama kind of mindset.
Ah, shit, I hit my
Would you want her to become a Nakama? Like
no,
forget like common sense.
No, I don't want anybody. That's my hard
stance.
I stand by that. What do you mean shut? What the fuck? Why?
No, you don't. You want somebody as a Nakama. Don't give me that.
I've always said after what's his face during the time skip, I feel like I even said no, yeah, Law, like even with Law, like I'm like, ain't no way, nobody joining this crew. Stop it, no more. And I think truthfully, it's probably like Whole Cake Island, Wano. You combine how like Brooke and Usopp and like all of their moments and how they get put to the side, and then Carrot. My sense has always been that Carrot stopped developing once she joined the ship, and she's developed like off screen on Onigashima. She became the queen of Mokuma Dukedom. That happened like off screen, like technically, and it's crazy because the moment she leaves the ship, she becomes like, she's gonna become more cracked. The moment we see her again, she's gonna become the strongest Mink, the strongest Sulong, 100%, and she's gonna re-embody everyone's favorite theory of Kaguya, or not Kaguya,
Kaguya,
Naruto Moon Bunny, which is what. She's a white bunny, sees the moon, becomes like insanely strong. She's gonna become the cracked like Carrot that like everybody wanted her to be while on the ship. But the thing is, the ship is honestly a nerf for most characters. That's what it is. It's unfortunate, but it's true. They like think about the time skip. All the Straw Hats, they developed like exponentially off of the ship. Honestly, I should make a video how Luffy's ship is the ultimate nerf. That would be crazy. That'd be a really funny video to make.
I mean, it would make sense for Jinbei for sure.
Yeah. Oh my god. Look, Jinbei, first night of the sea. Did you see him at Impel Down? Did you see him at Marineford War? Well, look what happens when he joins joins the ship. He becomes the luggage man. He becomes the ball
I hope
boy.
Jinbei joins the crew one day.
Jinbei?
Yeah, I hope Jinbei joins us, man. I mean, I don't know where he's at. One day Jinbei's gonna join the crew, and that's gonna be so hype, man. Holy crap.
Dude, this is Jinbei's twin brother.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a glorified delivery man, a glorified firefighter. Like, what are we doing, man?
Jinbei, this is Dinbei, bro.
Yeah, I always say this, but it does come from a place of love because I love Jinbei so much. I hate the fact that he's just a delivery man. What are we doing?
He's just the milk. Yeah, he's a firefighter. He's just the odds job guy. Like, you know how in like 80s, not 80s, I'm probably making this up, but like there's that one character that does all the jobs outside of like the thing and they all look the same. Yeah, that's what like Jinbei's at right now. He's just like the odd guy who does everything.
He's just that man.
Yeah.
And another character that I put in that realm alongside Jinbei for the longest time, I mean, a ghastly long time, it was Brooke. I loved Brook during Thriller Bark. I thought his backstory was compelling. I thought the character was fun. I thought it was really weak. I mean, my God, not a scratch on Ryuma. Are you joking? Holy hell, he sucked. But I liked Brook. And we never really got a lot out of Brook minus the Rumbar Pyre flashback and minus Thriller Bark. So now that we're finally getting Brook lore, I'm like, yo, like this is what I've always wanted. Like this is amazing.
You know what I'm gonna hate too? Is
what?
We're gonna get like Brook in this flashback. He's gonna be so cracked, like his reputation. He can't be regular Andy on this island in an army. He has to be cracked, and the reality sets in that no matter how cracked Brook is, like Brook could not surpass pre-time skip Zoro.
Yeah, like Brook is not going to be like a. I've seen a couple theories saying that Brook's going to be like the second coming of Edward Newgate, but I just don't see it.
Yeah, like and that's where the reality sets in. It's like Kyros had the sauce, he had aura, but that aura stops at Dressrosa because you go past Dressrosa, and this guy, no hockey, new world, he's dead. He's dead. He's not winning anything, which is ironic because Dressrosa was a coliseum where he fought 1,000 battles, never lost a single time, and apparently was like a place where people on the new world came to fight him, but he never lost, and he no hockey, that cracked. But like, I'm not saying that he's beneath pre-time skip Zoro, but like what would happen to Kyros versus Ryuma in Thriller Bark? I'd imagine like he'd fare better than Brook, but he'd probably still lose. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy.
That is pretty crazy to think about.
Yeah.
I just wish Brook was a little bit stronger. I know people are saying strength isn't everything, and yeah, I agree, but in a series where you have to fight these strong opponents, I mean, I kind of want them to be stronger, man.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's super absurd to say. But yeah, one thing I really like in this chapter, though, is that Brook, in that flashback, it looks like he has a brand new fit. People called out the Spaldings, the cape, the sword even. And it's like, man, this Brook he's going to be fire, dude.
He's going to look like a Holy Knight too, probably.
Do you think he's going to get like the Ace treatment? Where, in the flashbacks, Ace is just so freaking powerful. Like, imagine we get Brook in the flashback, and he's over here one-shotting everybody. Like, he went around taking names. He had, like, a new epithet, like, the 5 million man slayer Brook.
His name would...
Like, oh, God.
The only thing that would make sense, right? Because Scopper's epithet is Mountain Eater. And then we also have, like, Higuma, the mountain. Like, we have to have the mountain climber. Brook has to be... That's his name, you know what I mean? Because he's so tall. They might, instead of Higuma, who's just mountain, right? It's the mountain, like he's the Higuma. That's what Brook, because he's so tall.
Brook, the man whose height makes him reach the sky. Ooh, what about Brook, the sky climber?
Yeah.
Because he's so tall.
Which would be another word for tree. Yeah. Because he's like, he has an afro. So trees are like the bridge to the sky. So it could be that he's the the forest man. That sounds racist.
The forest man.
No, he's just the tree. Like, what? How do you?
Oh, what about this? He's so tall, they name him the Pillar of the World.
Yeah, the hairy pillar.
Oh, no, because he's immortal. He's immortal, the Pillar of Eternity.
Well, he wasn't immortal back then. He's mortal.
No, it's like foreshadowing.
Oh, they foreshadowed it. Oh my god.
Foreshadowing.
No,
Brooke.
then they have to give him the Undying Juggernaut. Some shit like that.
Oh, the Undying King.
Yeah, dude. Oh yeah, adds
the King of Ruination, Viego.
The Undying Soul. To foreshadow Soul King Brook and him not dying. Oh my god. You know what do you know these two YouTubers, B. Lou and Zia? I forgot his other name, that guy. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Who?
B. Lou.
No.
Oh my god. I think the other one's Zias.
You're speaking a different language.
You have to check them out. They're hilarious. I think sometimes, and some of the viewers probably know, sometimes we hit the wavelength where we're just like, there's a thing where the Zias goes like, B. Lou, and it's like this super, like literally B. Lou would be like he'll say this shit like, dude, fish probably can't see water like we can't see air, and then the other guy would be like, B. Lou, you're quack. Like, it's just like hyping up, like this is funny.
Hyping up each other.
I feel like sometimes we do that. The Undying Juggernaut. Oh shit.
Yo, we just keep on speaking nonsense and we're like,
yeah, like we started going in like the skeleton lollipop. Oh shit.
Yeah.
The bone pop.
So I'm kind of curious now. So I love that Viz win with this translation. I think this might be the first translation I think the Viz nailed. Because TCB and OP scans, they didn't have this.
Okay.
They didn't have it, but the spoilers did. You know, whoever translated the spoilers, they caught this one, but but TCB and OP scans, they kind of glossed over it. But when Emu shows up, the first thing they say is, what is taking so long?
Yeah.
In TCB, they say, what is the commotion? And then the other one says, what are you dawdling for?
Right.
But what is taking so long, I think, is more interesting because it plays in line with the time dilation theories that, you know, time works differently here in Elbaph. Because, you know, the God Knights, in reality, you know, we've known these guys for like, 3-4 months now, but in reality, they've only been here for
20 minutes,
a couple chapters, maybe like an hour, 2 hours max.
Yeah, that's true, an hour.
Yeah, they haven't been here that long. So why is Emu saying what is taking so long? You know, I feel like that is another nudge towards the fact that maybe time works differently here, which I think is really interesting.
That's a good. Yeah.
Like I said, the spoilers said that, but TCB and OP scans didn't exactly reflect it, but the Viz is reflecting that. So that's why I'm saying, like, you need multiple references. So it's 2 for 2 right there.
Yeah, that's...
Or 2 out of 4.
That's actually kind of wild now I think about it. Because, yeah, what's the commotion? What are you dawdling for? Dawdling adds more leniency to the idea, but, you know, what's all this commotion does not at all. And then what's taking so long? That does sound odd. That does actually sound odd when you put in.
Yeah, like they just got here, man.
Yeah, big and also like
a whole day has not passed. Like it is the same day. They just arrived here. Like what do you mean? Why is it taking so long? Like they just got here, man.
Damn.
It's only been a couple minutes.
I almost now I want to see the raws because like yes, like as far as perspective on the translation, this is a very interesting route. But is it the most accurate route? I don't know yet. I know that there was already
we don't know
a lot of push back and forth on the meaning of what Emu was saying here. A few people in the stream were saying like, oh, they weren't referencing the Holy Knights directly, and some were saying that no, they were. It depends. Like for example, where Viz says we need greater numbers, TCB says instead, thou seems to require additional military force. So when I read that, some viewers are saying no, Emu's not saying they need additional force at at Elbaph. Instead, they were saying that they meant at Marriage Wa, which is what Viz is saying. We need greater numbers at the Holy Land.
And that's what the spoilers said too.
Right. And so the separation being that there in that phrase, there's no subject of that. So you have to go off of context. And so contextually, it could go either way. It just depends on what Emu is speaking to. But per the Viz translations, it 100% adds the severity of what's happening at the Holy Land, like 100%, because now we know we need greater numbers. The Holy Land is on fire. And then also keep in mind, guys, they already recalled Shamrock, which I just want to throw out there. If you're talking about time dilation, which I will admit, I've never been the best supporter of that logic line, because there's just so much that not necessarily wouldn't make sense, but you'd have to twist a lot to make it contextually make sense, like Loki's imprisonment matching up with Shanks's timeline of the devil fruit, of the Gomu Ace. There's just so many things that lined up timeline wise that, if you added time dilation, some of those things wouldn't necessarily make that much sense, but it's not impossible. And if we're talking about it's taking so long, then we might get a scenario where Shamrock's lost already. He got sent back and they need more forces, because the whole point of Shamrock's is he is the force. If we're talking about forces in One Piece and you're talking about a carbon copy of Shanks, I can't think of a better force. You know what I mean? So if they recalled him and they're like, yo, it's taking too long, Shamrock's has been there for 10 minutes, according to the chapters. So either he lost or Shamrocks have been fighting for a week. And they're like, bro, we've been waiting for you guys to come back. Where have you been? Shamrocks is 80 now. I don't know what we're gonna get back to.
That'd be so funny.
When we were going to Egghead, people were like, Par side, do you think we're gonna get a time skip? And we were like, yeah, maybe a 2-week time skip, or maybe we get a 2-month time skip or whatever. And then this is Onigashima, and technically Onigashima had a 1-month time skip at the end of it, or Wano. But this one, it would be a crazy one if they end up on Elbaph and then they go back to the real world, and the real world has 40 years have gone by. What?
No, dude, imagine we leave Elbaph and Eustass had his crazy ass time skip, and Kid comes back and he's like this, and he's Magneto.
Bro, that's so funny, because honestly, that's what everyone else in the series actually needs. Everyone else in the series needs 40 years to cook to catch up to where Luffy is at right now. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Dude.
No, dude, just imagine that if time dilation is real, so many moving pieces would get pushed forward, Sword, Cross Guild, Blackbeard, even Yamato's cover page. Imagine the cover page and it's just that is our first hint. The cover page just doesn't match up with current events. That'd be insane. What's up? What hit you?
No, I mean, I said, I'm not the biggest fan of the time dilation thing, but Saul said he came here the exact timeline that matches up with Ohara, right? So 25 years or whatever, 22 years or whatever, and he made the school. That lines up. But something outside of that we've been discussing is the Holy Knights, Smers specifically, saying things what are these schools and libraries or whatever? And then so we've been so they haven't been here in 20 years. What? How does that make sense? And then if you were to add time dilation to that, I don't know how you would get it. But damn, Oda would have to be doing some that makes it so hard.
Yeah, maybe that's why he took a month off. At one point he's like, well, I gotta really sit down and think about this damn timeline. I don't know. I think time dilation is a fun theory, just because I would love to see what the world would be like if that were to happen. Like, imagine so many characters getting stronger. Like, forget, Kid's theory on, or forget Par's theory on Kid, but think about my theory about Kobe. Like, Kobe, he could get freaking busted after a while. Kobe, oh my god, after a time skip, insane.
Yeah, like,
and then Blackbeard would have all the ancient weapons already, or at least 2 of them.
The Grand Fleet is like before they were little broed so hard that they made their own fleet and just align with Luffy. Luffy returns and they little bro Luffy, don't worry, we got you, Captain. You're always
there, dude. Imagine like they're all super strong. Bartolomeo, like he's missing an arm. Imagine like Cavendish, he has like crazy face scars. Like Don Chinjiao and Don Sai and all of them and Baby 5, they're like, they got Conqueror's hockey now and they're flexing. I don't know, man.
Don Chinjiao
like a time skip for a lot of characters would go nuts. Bellamy, ooh, Bellamy, dude.
Yeah, we'd have to take the L's out of his name, call him Bellamy. You put 2 W's in his name.
Yeah, dude. He awakened the spring fruit, and he's here to help Luffy finally.
Yeah, the hardest bounce back. It's spring back in anime history, bro. Give him 20 years to cook. Yeah,
and then Law gets a new epithet called Order, so he's now Law and Order. What?
That was clean, dude. That was clean. Law and Order.
Thank you, bro.
Isn't that the My Hero, the girl? Isn't her? No, her. What's her name? The American superhero. Stars Spangled Banner.
Ooh. Yeah.
Stars, more like Stars Spankle Banner. No, I'm joking. I was gonna
character. Stars and Stripes.
Stars and Stripes. Yeah. If you Stars Spankle Banger, that would be memed on the internet. Stars Spankle Banger. Ha, that's a good one.
Dude, I'm telling you, man. Time dilation. It's not. I get why people might not like it, but it'd be crazy, brother. That sounds like a Quan Mills book right there.
No, it doesn't. 1, but 2. No, Snow Bunny impregnates man. Nowhere near on the same thing of Elbaph time dilation. First of all. Second of all,
my baby mama kept a kid during the time dilation period, and now there's a grown-ass man inside of her. Like, ooh, Quan Mills, man, hop on that book, brother. Pick up the pen.
Wait, so like, how would this work? Like, okay. Let's say for hypothetically, right? Hypothetically,
yeah,
I impregnate you on Dressrosa.
Ugh.
It's a hypothetical, bro. Are you bad with hypotheticals?
Ew.
Come on, it's just deal with the hypotheticals.
No,
if you're bad with hypotheticals, it means you're obviously dumb.
That's nasty, Par.
It's a hypothetical, okay, Sai? So
fine.
On Dressrosa, the land of love, we get you impregnated, and then I ship you to Elbaph, and then
okay,
my time 9 months later, I'm still on Dressrosa. You ship back. Is my kid 40 years old? Like, what's happening? Is that how that works?
I don't know. And that's the glory of Elbaph. We have no clue how this actually works.
No, it would be flipped because Emu's saying it's taking too long. So I send you there and I go through 40 years and I'm waiting for my child to come back.
And then I go through like 1 day.
Yeah, and so you go through 9 months.
Yeah.
It's like a year, like 20 years for me. I'm expecting my 20-year-old son to come back, but he's not born yet.
Yeah, it'd be something stupid like that. I like that.
Yeah. That's why hypotheticals are so important. They help you like think about these scenarios
from like a different angle.
Yeah.
So, as far as the Holy Land goes, who is attacking it? Dragon, Crossguild, Blackbeard. I mean, I've got a sleeper hit for you, man. I was even thinking about like Akainu and Kizaru, but I came up with a cracked idea when talking to Brago. And what if the person attacking the Holy Land is actually, hear this, you're gonna love this one. What if it's Gecko Moria, the Master of Shadows?
I said that actually on stream.
Really?
Yeah, because the reason why I said it was because I was saying like in response to people thinking it's Dragon, which hold your horses, guys, don't create an opinion at the moment. I was saying that Tolian's truly on fire, and the Revs had already showed up, and they did put it on fire, but like they need more military force, and the Revs have already been there, and they required no Holy Knights, no Gorosei, no Emu intervention, and the only difference between the last revolutionary or Revs raid is Dragon. Then Dragon is so insane that he would necessitate like triple force on him, and I was like, at that point it would make more sense to me if we just revived Roger, Rox, and Whitebeard. And who could do that? Gecko Moria. And I was like, did he just bring back their zombies? Infinite hockey with like the we have to do the per contract, we have to make the Naruto reference. It, like in the Great Ninja War, like is Moria doing that?
Ito Tensei.
And like honestly, I don't know who's starting the fire, but if you're saying that you agree with my friend's idea about the Gecko Moria doing the raid, I'm with it. I'm glad you agree with him.
Dude, I'm saying, man, Gecko Moria, that's a sleeper hit right there. We don't know where he's at. We just know that he just got busted out of prison by Perona and Kobe. Maybe he does attack Emu. I mean, we do know that, during Marineford, Doflamingo did drop that someone high up there in the food chain wants Gecko Moria out. Maybe he wants to finally, pay back a little bit, pay it forward.
What if it's Momo? Because if time...
That'd be crazy.
Yeah, time skipped, and so Momo couldn't wait, and he was, like, put in the Odin situation, where he had to run the fade, and he couldn't wait for Joy Boy. So then he went in on, in like part of Joy Boy, and he's the reason why, and he's now Odin level plus Kaido Dragon, and he's cracked. Whoa.
What if it's Rox D Zabek?
Like not revived, like he's just old?
No, like actual Rox. Or what if it's Enel even?
Enel would be funny. Enel
would be crazy, dude.
No, Enel would be funny because like Luffy went like, you're nothing on the Blue Sea, and then Enel shows up like, say that again, because he's nuking Marijois. He's like, well, I get, and then Luffy's like, wah, joke's on you, that isn't the Blue Sea. Those are the losers on the red line. You missed Enel, and Enel gets like no diff by Gear 5 again, which...
Yeah, that'd be kind of
nice. Yeah. I don't know. Like that's where I think the craziest part to me, obviously, Marijois catching on fire is nothing new to the series, nothing new to us. Every time we go to Marijois, it's kind of just like Kindle fire. It's ready.
Here's the thing.
But the crazy thing is Emu.
But yeah, Emu says that they need numbers though, right? So whoever is attacking Marijois, it's not like a Fisher Tiger. It's not like, Morley and the Revs. No. Emu wants the Holy Knights back.
And Emu's
like, that's how you know it's serious.
Activating too. Wait, imagine this. This was Vegapunk's plan this entire time. That 2 weeks that he had, he's cooking up a way to force Emu to get locked in the time dilation by importing their consciousness into somebody on Elbaph. And now Vegapunk has opened the Great Void. A world where the empty throne is truly empty, because now the sitting ruler is a vegetable because their brain is locked in on Gunko.
I don't know. I feel like when it comes to a final villain like Emu, I like to imagine they can control two bodies at once. Like imagine like the 6 pads of pain. Imagine like your favorite guy, Kabuto, controlling all the Ito Tensei bodies at once, right? Like I think that's how it is. I don't think the real Emu just turned into a vegetable because he's controlling Gunko.
Fair. But I do think we have to take into account the time dilation there, because that might be a reason why like if time dilation was the thing, we'd see it through Emu, right? Emu being here would be like, because if Emu is conscious in 2 spots, I feel like I've never seen fiction do something like that. Someone whose consciousness is split into a time dilated region and not. That's crazy to think about. You know what I mean? Because then they're consciously aware that like 5 minutes is going by here.
What do people say?
And an hour is going by here, right?
Goda back at it again, man. Breaking barriers, bro. Or should I say breaking that insulation? He's doing it, brother.
Yeah, Sai just did something. No, what this went over everyone's head. Oda is such a good writer that he doesn't break the fourth wall. He breaks the insulation in that fourth wall. Most people's fourth wall is just drywall, sheetrock. Oda's doing concrete insulation, like steel windows, bulletproof windows. That's the kind of wall that Oda is breaking. Oh my god, you're right, dude.
Is it harder to get through metal or bulletproof glass?
Metal.
Because bulletproof glass is just plastic and glass combined.
Harder to get through metal.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what if you had like a jackknife that never chips?
I think still metal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
Because imagine
so now
a bulletproof car. But you just don't put windows and it's just metal. I'm pretty sure that's a lot safe. Like, we just want windows.
That's fair. Yeah, it's like Mad Max-esque, right?
Yeah. Or like submarines, right?
No.
Like that one guy who made a sub, he couldn't make bulletproof glass submarine. He would be in buko bucks, right? As you would say, if he could just make a submarine made of bulletproof glass, so you have to make it out of metal, right? So.
Yeah. Nah, speaking of metal, dude, Emu is here. He takes over Gunko's body. Obviously, we've already talked about this, so we're not going to touch on it too much, but, Gunko's left eyes, her old memories, the right eye is what takes over, and now both eyes are now just Emu. But now that Emu is here, we see that Gunko's body kind of changes ever so slightly, right? Not just the eyes, but the hair. The hair gets longer. Is this confirmation to you, to the Parvision, that Emu is a woman? Some people are saying this is just Gunko's original hair, but I just think that makes even less sense. Like, why would the hair just go back like to 20 years ago? Like, that's odd.
That's her prime.
I think, she went back to her prime hair for some reason.
Yeah. Also, it'd be 70 years.
I think it's simpler to say it's Emu's hair.
Yeah. Listen, I'm biased here because I'm on the Emu is a baddie boat. So, honestly, I don't need hair for confirmation. Emu, Gunkko going bald, that's confirmation for me. She's a bald baddie. You know what I'm saying? Like, it didn't matter. We can get, like, the smallest anything, and I'd be like, yup, she's a girl. And then, with the long hair, it's like she could just be, like, Cavendish, right? like, I don't know. Yeah, like, people could do that, but that's why I'm on the boat of Emu is a baddie. I'm a strong, it's like the dissonance of me not caring for Nakama, but this one I do care about. Emu is a baddie is something I do strive for,
Yeah, I'm like, I wouldn't mind if Emu's a woman. I think for me, it's just like, I hope they're a woman that throws hands, bro.
Yeah.
I hope it's not like an Uta thing where like Uta's a villain and then we don't really fight Uta because, we don't want to show Luffy just using a Gatling against her, so we fight Todd Musica.
Yeah.
Or like people bring up Vivi, but that's like a one-punch thing. That's kind of whatever. And then Big Mom's like this giant gargantuan Tyrannosaurus, so it's like, I don't know.
I feel like there's two routes. One route is Kaguya from Naruto. Woman and villain, positioned kind of similarly, but when it came to the actual fight, it was all like energy beams and like not really like when Naruto and Sasuke fight, it's hands on hands, bloody noses.
Yeah, that's kind of what I want.
And so the other route is Videl. And like, I'm not saying I want how I felt when the Videl situation happened, but like, there's the way to do it, like Nobara from JJK. You know what I mean? Like, if you felt.
Or like Yuki from JJK.
Yeah. Like there's a way to do it. And obviously the Videl one was positioned to make you feel bad about her situation. But I don't think we'd put like the all-powerful Emu, who's supposed to be showing the dominance of God, would ever be in Videl's situation, right? That just wouldn't make sense. So.
Yeah. Like imagine... This is just crazy. I hope this doesn't happen. Like, imagine Luffy and Zoro and Sanji just hold her down, and then Emu's like, "Oh, this is the limitations of a body of a woman." Like, we don't want that in a manga. What are we doing? we don't want that. We want Emu, regardless of gender, to be freaking awesome.
Yeah, like the.
So, but yeah, now that Emu's here, though, do you think Emu is going to continue playing this Holy Night game, like, hey kids, let's keep on walking, to the ship we go, Or do you think Emu will go crazy? Because I envision a world where, people are always saying, oh, how are Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji and Loki going to get up to the Sun Realm? But what if Emu is so that guy, so him or her, that they go down to Luffy?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that'd be kind of nuts, right? Like, Emu blitzes everybody here, and then they go downstairs to just fight them too. Kind of like Enel at Skypiea, how Enel just kind of showed up and he's just fighting.
What should happen, yeah. I feel like the thing with Emu taking over Gunko's body, I wanted to also, I don't know if I want it, but I see a world where Gunko's body can't handle it. So like Emu not destroys the vessel, but it's like a detriment. And we might even see a care being taken here where Emu goes like, damn, if I spend 2 more minutes in this body, it might crumble. So I have to like eject, right? That's a kind of limiter that I could see. Or like if I stay in here, the consciousness will break or something like that. That's something that other series would have. I feel like it could make a lot of sense for Emu. Problem is, we don't know how strong Emu is. I feel like Emu should be...
They've gotta be strong,
untouchable,
right?
But like, then we have the Gorosei, and like, the Gorosei are untouchable, but not anymore. Because if Scopper was on Egghead, they'd all be sushi. Like, it's very interesting because we just saw the Holy Ants get literally chopped up pretty simply. And yes, that guy's out of commission at the moment, technically. But is Emu's... Basically, I guess it should not be the case that if Scopper was not out of commission, Emu's cooked too. You know what I mean? Like, Emu in Gunko's body should mollywop Scopper. And I don't know what that means. I really do not know what that looks like, what that means. But I feel like that's the result of Emu taking over Gunko's body. With the just Gunko, Scopper destroys Gunko. Emu in there, there's no... like, it should... at least feel like Scopper has no chance, I think. And I don't even know what that means when I say that, but like that's kind of like how I envision it to go down. Like you said, when Enel showed up at Skypiea, but when Enel showed up in the various locations where the Straw Hats were, for example, Robin, Nami, Zoro, like that situation, Robin immediately went like, this is one of 2 invincible fruits or some shit like that. And like, this is the most powerful Logia or something like that. And everyone's like, you mean he's lightning? How are we supposed to fight lightning? And they felt powerless. And Enel was open the door to be like, this is the power. This is the dominion of godhood. Like he was completely valid in doing that. I don't know how we get that from Emu here when we have like a Gear 5 and a Loki, and like, yes, Scopper is hurt, but I don't think he's dead. So like, is it something where like if Scopper were here, Emu would get like locked up? I don't know. I
don't think he would. I just feel like because he is like one of the big bad final bosses, he can't lose. Yeah. I don't think he gets stalled. I don't think he loses. The only way he loses is, going back to what you said, like the body can't handle it, or if he's only limited to Gunko's abilities, like, he only has the arrow no Mi. But I mean, we're looking at the hockey right here, like the black lightning's coming off of Gunko, and that's different, right? Minus the Abyss Circle, like it looks like Gunko now has Conqueror's Hockey for the time being.
No,
and I'm expecting a lot, like even for shut up, even from Smers and Killingham, like. Smers is currently like incapacitated, but what if Emu gives them additional power-ups? So like, what if Emu puts them back together? What if Emu absorbs their powers for a little bit?
Yeah.
Like, I think there's a lot of things Emu could do here, and I just hope they come off of this island looking good. Because imagine we beat Emu, right? Like, Emu's gonna get mocked until we fight him again. Like, even if this is a nerfed Emu, I think they still will get mocked, bro.
If Emu gets locked down in any capacity, I think people will drop the series. Because you think about the criticism that Saturn got, and this position that we had at that time was like, oh, the other Gorosei, he's probably the weakest Gorosei. That was like the first cope. The second cope is like, oh, they're probably just figureheads and the Holy Knights are stronger. And so we're going to get the Holy Knights, and Oda positioned them on Scopper, which not the greatest position. And then also we fall back. There's 2 routes after that, or alongside, which is that, oh, it's fine. The Gorosei, they're there, but then there's Garling and Emu. And then there's the other camp that were like, well, Emu's not the final villain anyways. It's Blackbeard, right? But if you were to do that with Emu, yikes. That's a yikes.
Yeah. Because there's no one higher than him, right? There's no one higher than Emu or Blackbeard even. And the thing with Emu as well is that the reason why I think he shouldn't get stalled at Gear 5th is because Emu's probably fought Gear 5th before, right? Yeah. We're talking about a Joy Boy opponent from 900 years ago. I would like to imagine that Emu will look at Luffy and his powers and he says, yeah, been there, done that. What do you have now? Like what do you have next? Like, Joy Boy is better than this.
Yeah, it should be like a Super Smash Pro playing like Super Smash at a competitive level, and then the new version comes out and they're still the best. It's not like they just like lost it. They should be able to clean everybody out. It's like, it's just the new iteration. It's the new Toon Link, it's the same character. You know what I mean? You were God at this. And so like, how, like if Gear 5 was Kirby, you know how to beat Kirby. Kirby doesn't really change that much, so it's like, it's kind of like that. So it's like, I don't.
And then plus, like, we saw what Joy Boy was capable of, right? With that hockey rope. Yeah. Like, Luffy can't do that.
Yeah.
So Luffy still has a ways to go until he hits that Joy Boy level of power. Yeah. So yeah, Emu might just see Luffy and he's like, oh, like this is, I mean, Luffy's not weak, but he's not Joy Boy.
Yeah.
Like, Emu can win here.
Yeah. And like, I feel like you can't say the word dominance of a god, that phrase, and then just fail. Saturn did that.
Dude, that would be
Saturn
nuts.
Kind of did that.
Let me show you the dominance of a god. And then he spends like an entire chapter fighting Scopper Gaban. Like, right. I'm being held back.
Yes. And that exact point, like, we're not talking, like, when Somers clashed with Scopper, that's impressive for Somers, not impressive for Scopper. But if Emu were to start clashing with Scopper or anybody, yikes. That's where Emu's like expectations almost at.
And we're not saying that Emu can't like fight people for like prolonged chapters or panels. We're saying that they can't push Emu back greatly.
Yeah.
Like, Emu can't like be sweating. Emu can't like get hit and they're like, oh, that caught me off guard, right? Like, I think it's fine if they fight for a while or like exchange a couple of blows, but Emu just can't look weak. I think.
And the other part is like it doesn't even seem like the other times this happens in series, it would be that the vessel's like incomplete or they're not an optimal vessel. Yeah. But from most angles, Gunko, credible fighter, very strong on her own right. And she also, there's a reason people had the theories, but she also positionally seems like she's kind of being groomed into being the vessel. So like, yes, the limitation where Emu fails inevitably here, because they can't win, like, just not that they can't win, that's wrong. More so like, Emu can't just murder everybody. Like, Emu can't just end the story here. Not killing Luffy is what I meant by failing, and not getting to that like end stage of ending the story right here and now. The limitations most likely come from being in Gunko's body, right? If Luffy is able to push back Emu's response should be akin to like, well, I was using my left hand, like I'm a righty. And the version, what I'm saying there is that she's in Gunko's body, and Gunko's body can't handle the reality warping that Emu's capable of.
Yeah, but they have to like explicitly say that too.
Yes. Yeah. And it can't be like Emu has to be like, it has to be like, not has to be, sorry. It like, but it needs to feel like calculated. Like Emu, like like when Scopper sees Zoro and Luffy coming at me, he measures their competence and he's like, I don't need to fight anymore. Emu comes here and it's like, I only need to use like 10%, and this body can only handle 20%. I'm not saying that Emu needs like that kind of battle IQ, but like understanding like, power, their ability, not overestimating themselves is probably pretty important here, on top of like optics, right? So, and I'm hoping that overestimation like I hope that the arrogance is backed up. You know what I mean? The arrogance of a god. I hope it's like super backed up. It felt weird if Enel got showed up like that and then Zoro clashed with him, right? Like Enel was pretty casual fighting everybody, you know? So besides even Luffy, he's pretty casual even fighting Luffy. Up until a point.
Until he realized that Luffy could tank attacks.
Yeah. So
yeah,
that's you know, that's where we're at here with Emu. Emu's in a crazy spot.
Yeah, and then like as far as breaking this connection, you know, I think Brooke is going to be the key role there. Mm-hmm. You know, just the music aspect. Like even during the Gunko panel where we see Brooke saying "Yo ho ho," like I can already imagine Brooke just whipping out the violin or the guitar and just bringing Gunko back, possibly, or at least like maybe stalling Emu. Like in Bloodborne, there's like a music box you play, and then the werewolf boss is like, "Whoa, I've heard that music, that song. It's familiar." I
had an epiphany. Your favorite chapter is about to come out.
No, don't say it.
No. Yeah. And no. But this is gonna be your favorite chapter because Emu's gonna be like, I hate that song. This shitty song for 800 years. That one.
Yeah, dude. That better not be the case. It better not be Bink Sakyo's that brings her back.
What if Bink's?
It's gotta be okay. You gotta imagine. You know, Gunko in that panel as a kid. It's gotta be a kid appropriate song like "Wheels on the Bus,"
Cocoa Melon edition.
Yeah. The wheels on the bus go round and round.
Yo.
And then Emu's like, oh God, what is this?
Okay. Do you think that Emu reels back from hearing Bink Sake or gets bloodlusted? Because I imagine if you heard Bink Sake,
I think bloodlusted.
If you were in like a bar fight and someone says, "Put my song on," and it's Bink Sake, that would give you a 10x buff. Because you would. It'd
be like Negan in The Walking Dead. He's like, yeah, you know, they interrupted my jukebox, so I beat them up and I stole all their money.
Yeah. I think Emu gets bloodlusted. Like if we played Bink Sake I think okay. One gorilla versus 100 people, and we played Bink Sake. 100 men take that. Every random group of 100 men with
just to turn off that damn song.
With Bink Sake, we win. It's you know, I think you know what we should throw that in. What song would buff the 100 people up? Like Dragon Ball Z. We get some Goku like Dragon Ball music in there. What's a pump up song? Do you think if we played the Drums of Liberation, that would buff us up?
Hell no. Hell no, that wouldn't buff us up. Here comes the boom by Pod.
Oh, God. Laboon. I wonder if Laboon shows up.
Last Resort by Papa Roach.
No.
No, dude. So, the last thing I want to touch on is the Holy Land again. Uh-huh. Whoever's attacking the Holy Land, brother, they've got to have a lot of heavy hitters, bro. Because think about like all the people they're currently fighting. They're possibly fighting multiple Holy Knights, Shamrock, the Gorosei plus Garling. Dude, what if a Kainu is still there? Like a Kainu's there. Some other admirals are there too. Like whoever is currently attacking, they've got to be that guy. And that's why, for me, it's kind of hard to like put Dragon in that spot. I think Dragon makes the most sense. But dude, Dragon himself? Like Dragon, Sabo, sure. That's just two people. Like, what are we talking about? Like, Ivankov, are they going crazy? Is Karasu going crazy? Sure, maybe. But then what about Lindbergh, Bello Betty? What about, your favorite character, Ushiano? Like, I just don't think the Revs have that many heavy hitters to just destroy the Holy Land or attack it like this. But I don't know. And then people are also saying like, oh, the Revs aren't like head-on fighters, but I would kind of argue against that. Like they can only stay in the background for so long.
Oh yeah.
And like, coordinate things. I think they also have to be those guys if they want to genuinely take down the WG.
No, I think they are passive fighters by choice, not by like not because they can't, if that makes sense. But I had a funny realization because obviously your question is not considering the time flux possibility. But when you were talking about that, I realized that even in your wettest dream, Kid would not be time skipped into the future because he's on Elbaph. So there's no...
He's off the coast of Elbaph.
So this is... Yo, all those times where I'm like, sorry, he didn't even make it to Elbaph. You're like, no, par, he's off the coast to Elbaph. That still counts, but it doesn't count for the time flux. That's so
Nope.
rich. That's amazing.
Doesn't count.
Yeah. Okay, my bad. So
you have to be directly on top of the magnetism of the of Elbaph's land.
Yeah.
To be
so
affected.
you have to be on the magnetism, kid. Yeah.
But also
magnetism.
Another route too. What if the Marines are attacking the Holy Land?
Yeah, I think my brain is plagued by this whole time flux thing because I want to like hash through that possibility. But if we were to negate that, then the options are kind of limited. There's not that many people positioned against the world government that like realistically could warrant this kind of response, because like Blackbeard is a character who literally last we saw was basically saying, I want to work with the world government. I want to be inducted into the world government and become king of Blackbeard, a kingdom, right? Like he's not positioned that way. Buggy, sure. But like it can't be a singular thing like that group. Like if like Shanks, some people are saying Shanks would be interesting, but like
I think Shanks is another really good option.
Yeah, in terms of force, but in terms yes, like if all of the red-haired pirates showed up, could they push out the Gorosei and Holy Knights and make Emu need to recall more? Yeah, sure, but we have to throw in, if the Navy was also running against Shanks, then that would mean we have to throw in Akainu and Kizaru, which I don't know if we threw in the Admirals, the Holy Knights, and like, is that really not enough to stop Shanks? Like, I don't know. Not that I don't know, but I don't know if like Emu needs to like recall for that. And that's the kind of thing with Buggy too. Like, yeah, I know people gas up Mihawk, but like they don't have that much firepower to pull this out.
Yeah, it's just Mihawk and Crocodile. And then after that, it's like the Holy Knight should just clear house, right?
And we saw the Revs, 99% of the actual fighting force was just there. And they didn't really fare that well in the scope of like a frontal battle, because they didn't want that. And they were literally disrupting the citizens and using them as like body bags. Like, hey, haha, Green Bull.
Yeah.
Ha, Fujitora, you can't just drop a meteor on the Celestial Dragons. And like, and to that point, one of the point of things was making Green Bull and Fujitora fight each other. So like, I'm not saying that they were so weak that they wouldn't be able to do it, but that's a scenario where we see the Revs like used most of their force there, and the Holy Knights still didn't come. And yeah, that did cause a fire, but like Emu didn't care, the Gorosei didn't care. So what's the difference now? And like, that's where it's like, yeah, I get it. Dragon, I put him in top 1. But no matter how high you want to put Dragon there, if you do the math, Revs minus Dragon equals the last Reverie. Emu didn't call for the Holy Knights. Emu didn't recall Shamrocks. Emu didn't do any of that. And now you do Revs with Dragon. I don't see how it equates to like, let's recall all the Holy Knights. Let's have Emu actually care and show the dominion of God, right? Like, none of that really fits the bill. So like, I don't really know, Sai. You're the one with the vision here on this one. You said Eustass Kid in the future. That was a great idea. It's honestly like a birthday present.
There's just so many people that could go, but yeah, it's tough. I think Shanks is just the best option. I mean, outside of Dragon, I think Shanks is the best option just because he did say he wanted to go after the One Piece, and we do know that he has family ties up there in the Holy Land anyways. Maybe he knows who has the fourth road poneglyph. Maybe it really is up in the Holy Land, like Shiryu suggested.
But you know how
I think that'd be fascinating.
Lame it would be. Shanks comes there, forces the Gorosei and everyone's hands, and then they go, we need Shamrock. So they pull Shamrock back, his twin brother. And then Shamrock or whatever is not enough. So let's pull Gunko.
Well, okay, wait. That makes sense. Hear me out.
Okay.
Shanks can fight Shamrock and Garling. maybe like 1v1, 1v2, whatever.
1v.
But and then you got to imagine the rest. You got to imagine the rest of the Holy Knights are there too, and then the rest of the red-haired crew are there. Like they got to equal out. So maybe they need somebody to fight. Howling Gab, Building Stick is fighting guys. We need Smers back. Like I think that's what it is. Because Shanks, his crew is like the Straw Hats, where you can't really ignore a single one. Like like Luffy versus Emu, but what about Zoro? Who's gonna fight Zoro? Like you need more people. Okay. So I understand why Emu would call back more people because of that.
That's glaze, in my opinion. For the Straw Hats.
For who?
Because that's like okay, Luffy, Emu, Zoro, Gartling, Shamrock, Sanji, Jinbei, Saturn. We have 5 Gorosei. Okay, we hit Jinbei. Who's next? Robin. We have 9 other.
No. Hear me out.
Holy Knights.
What about Shanks's fleet too? Like Shanks's fleet is there, and they're like, the Holy Knights are too busy fighting Shanks and his crew. But who's gonna fight Balto Garotini?
Yeah.
Who's gonna fight the crying princess and the captain of the denture
club? That
club?
would be the equivalent. Like, yes, we have Shanks equalized with his brother and dad, and we have Yasop countered, and we have Lucky Roo countered. And then if we were to transition to, you said it's like the Straw Hats, it's like, but who's got Usopp? Like, no, that's never.
Well, I mean, Usopp's not at Yasop level yet, but eventually,
but my point is, like, Emu's coming here for substitutes, not for the Shanks fight, because they already got Shamrock, so they're coming here for the substitutes. So if you were to parallel it, it's like, who's left on the thing? It's like on the roster, it's like the apprentices. Like at that point,
I'm just saying, man, you might as well bring them all back.
Like, imagine you bring back Gunko. We needed more military, and then it's just the social club. It's just the old ancient people that Shanks brought. Because we have 5 Gorosei, like 12 Holy Knights, Emu.
Okay, forget
admirals.
Forget Shanks's Grand Fleet. Imagine if it was Luffy. It's like, the Holy Knights and the Gorosei are all tied up against fighting the Straw Hats, but now, like, Cavendish, the beautiful Cavalier is just going around doing crazy stuff. Haruden and the Giants,
Haruden. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Bellamy the Hyena.
Yeah.
The Haposui Navy are here.
Famously,
like, you need somebody to fight them.
2 captains of the Grand Fleet could not kill a single Celestial Dragon with their most powerful named attacks. Think about that one, guys. Leo and
I'm just
Sai.
saying, dude. Like,
that's why Sai is running the defense here. He's implicated.
Hey, Charlos just has crazy defense, man.
Charlos has regeneration, brother.
Regeneration, durability, defense, high HP pool. He's got it all.
What if Charlos is a sleeper Holy Knight? What if we found out that he is like the newest inductee?
That'd be really cool.
He's like a dual. He's Charlos by day, but Charles by night. Holy Knight.
Yeah, no. Oh, dude. Char lost during the day, but Char win at night.
Char win.
Yeah, isn't that nuts? Charwin's a good name.
Charwin is a great name. Oda, hire this guy. This guy's done nothing but wins. Like, this is a straight up birthday present for you, Oda. This guy is handing it straight to you. Dang, what a generous guy.
Yeah, man. Come on, dude. Let me on the staff, brother. Put me in,
yeah,
coach.
Like a Make-A-Wish even. Come on.
Yeah, for my brain tumor.
No, not the dementia brain tumor.
Yeah. So let me see here. Did we tackle everything? I think we kind of did. Anything else you want to leave off on? Anything we didn't touch on yet, like P. Diddy?
What? I mean, we talked about some other stuff on stream. So I know we talked a lot about the Brooke. We talked a lot about the Brooke stuff there. Yeah,
the Brooke stuff, the Gunko stuff, all the possibilities, which it's hard to talk about Brooke and Gunko just because we don't have much.
Yeah.
Like it's just so open-ended, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's it. I think we're done here, man.
Yeah. This is a clean cut episode. Except there's like 3
I loved
breaks
it, man.
This in between because the Discord couldn't handle.
Yeah, because we disconnected a couple times. But I'll cut it out. Nobody's gonna notice, right? Yeah. But Yeah, well, I guess now it's time to go celebrate my birthday officially, you know. Now that it is almost 7 o'clock, I'm going to go grab some crawfish.
Awesome. Wait, you're catching
dude.
crawfish, or are you going out for crawfish?
I'm just going after crawfish. I'm not gonna catch them.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you know how it is.
Happy birthday. I was wondering. I forget if last year we like said it, and I was like, was it? I think it was your birthday, like on my stream or something like that. And then you just like told.
Yeah, I think so.
Something like that.
It's always funny because like the last week amazed a lot of things because it's my birthday, it's my wife's birthday, and also it's also like the wedding anniversary.
Happy anniversary,
like
birthday,
the
double birthday. Dang.
Yeah.
It's a festival.
Triple threat. A little bit, yeah.
Festival of Jika.
And I've seen people saying happy birthday in the comments, so I appreciate that.
Wait, how did they know?
I made a video like last night.
That was like
past midnight at 3 a.m. I already posted it.
It was just like, hey guys, it's my birthday. Happy birthday. Like what?
No. It was, I just slipped it into like the conversation. Which I usually don't make a big event about it, but since I've told like Par and Brago about it, they just kind of, ooh, birthday, huh? It's like, okay.
Yeah. Brago get you a birthday gift?
No,
damn, Brago,
I'm a grown ass man. Leave me alone.
Damn, Brago, missing.
I don't like gifts. But yeah, with that being said though, guys, let us know what you thought about this chapter down below. What are your big theories? Whose theories do you like more, me or Par's? And all that good stuff. We'll love to hear it. Who's your favorite girl in the Polish bread? Those are the pressing questions coming off of 11:49. But 11:50 is right around the corner, and according to Redon, who is already dropping GIF hints, he is super excited.
Oh, god damn. I forgot.
Yeah, so it looks like Redon. Yeah, Redon, man, he drops those GIF hints, and if they're good, you know the chapter's good. And let me tell you, it looks like 1150 is not gonna stop the hype train.
I mean, this is an important chapter number. This is the Oda mathematician theories go wild with this numbers like this. This is, for a fact, we're gonna get like, well, actually, 1,000 chapters ago, that's when the Giants were introduced into this, or left the series, some shit like that. Or, oh, well, actually, that's when Crocodile was first brought in the scope, Mr. Zero. And isn't that perfect that Mr. Zero's introduction lines up with Emu's introduction? Mrs. Zero.
Dude.
Yeah.
Dude, wait a minute. 1,000 chapters ago, you won't believe what happened.
Crocodile shows up.
No, it was Drum Island, Chopper and Kureha.
Oh,
I think this is it.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Chopper's time to shine, dude. I feel it.
Damn, is Chopper about to plow Emu? That's crazy.
Oh, is that the chapter where... That might be the chapter where Chopper uses Brain Point for the first time.
All right, it's lost cause. We fucking...
Dude, I think that's it,
No,
man.
not the 1,000.
And guess what the cover page story was at the time? Guess what the cover page story was?
I don't know.
Django's Dance Paradise.
Oh, what if Emu in Gunko's body makes music? Music and forces everyone to dance.
Yeah,
but Redon wouldn't be excited about that. That
could
right?
be it. Huh. Did you know? Wait, I forgot. Walpole's crew had a pirate name.
Yeah.
Like a crew name.
Yeah.
What is it? Do you know what it is off the top of your head?
No, but he had the Dark Sakura thing or whatever, right? His kingdom?
No.
Okay, so I don't know what his pirate thing was.
His pirate crew name is Blinking Pirates.
Oh, yeah.
Blinking, like BLIKING.
Yeah. Wasn't that the name of his like hippo too, or something like that?
I think so. No, his hippo's name is Robson.
Robson?
Yeah, I don't know who the hell Blicking is, but the English dub translated it to the Tin Tyrant Pirates. So maybe it means something in Japanese. Blinking is the romanization of it. Blinking Kaizokudon.
Wait, can you look at the cover story for 150? Oh, we're doing the meme. of like looking back 1,000 chapters ago. I was just memeing.
Cover story of 150. I'm looking at it right
On
now.
the
What are you looking
awning,
at?
what does that say?
It says, I am hard. Like jokes aside, it looks like Iron Hard, maybe?
Yeah, and then after
Iron
the
hard?
I saw the same thing. Like I was like, what is this? Something hard. Like what? But then after the D, there's like a weird semicolon thing.
Yeah.
Huh. That's a weird.
Maybe that's foreshadowing the emu.
Yeah. Oh, and look at the.
I just get shivers thinking about all these foreshadowing moments Oda's put in.
Is it a surprise? Here, look at this. There's a bunch of Marines. We know Marine attire. It's long pants, and then there's one guy with shorts. And guess what? Gunko has no pants.
Dude, this sounds like have you watched like Arcade Craniums or J Station?
No, but you've mentioned them.
Yeah, where they're like, "Oh, guys, look at this! It's 3 a.m. and the dark web is calling." Like that's kind of how this feels. Like, oh my god, guys, in chapter 150 of One Piece, there's a cover page with Django on it. And Django is apparently dancing. And do you know who dances? Nika.
No.
Oh, is this confirmation that Nika's gonna make an appearance today?
Yeah, Django's
Like, it's like, that's
dance heaven. And guess who came down from heaven just now? Emu.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And in chapter 150, Chopper and Luffy fights Wapol. Is this going to be what happens? Is Wapol going to make a comeback, or is Wapol actually an imagery for Emu?
Or wait, Sai, follow me. By the way, this is the perfect Bilu. You're on like that. You gotta see those guys. This is the perfect thing. So hear me out. Emu showed up. What is Emu tied to?
Oh my god.
Void Century.
Oh my god.
How long ago was the Void Century? 800 years ago. So wouldn't it make sense for us to go 800 chapters back to chapter 3?
You're so right.
You're so the warehouse under the bridge. And guess what we see? We see Sanji, none other than Sanji, in front of a blue whale with a guitar.
No, is that Laboon and Brooke I see?
This is insane.
Dude, it's here. It's all
the guitar
here.
has skull.
It's all making sense,
and
guys.
Crossbone, who plays music? Brooke on what? A guitar? And so he's playing music? What's the first two letters of music?
Wait.
Moo.
Wait, that chapter takes place in Water 7 part. Emu backwards is Umi, which means ocean. Ocean, water? Oh.
Sorry.
No, dude, this is like the perfect brain rot One Piece theories. We gotta do this.
Yeah, this is good. This is some shit, bro. We do.
And then like somebody gets a phone call and they're like, guys, look at this. It's Emu calling, telling me to stop the video right now. It's Oda's editors. They're telling me to stop talking, but I just can't stop. Like Emu possessing Gunko, I just have to keep going.
Oh jeez. Oh, and guess. Oh my god. Do you see on chapter 350 the number 67 is underneath the cover page, and you know what 67 kind of looks like backwards? 1-6 Emu.
Oh, it's all there, brother. We're cooking. Guys, remember this video, and to remember it easier, make sure to drop a like down below and subscribe and comment.
And maybe Emu will
so you
call
never forget this moment. Yeah, maybe Emu will call you at 3 a.m. until your theories are right.
Oh god.
All right, we gotta get out of here, man.
Yeah, happy birthday, Sai.
All right. Yeah, thank you guys for stopping by, and we'll catch you guys next week.